Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening. Actually, this morning. So this morning, I am joined by a host of some new players, some returning players, to kick off our new campaign playing Jeff Talanian's very cool Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea 2nd edition. And what I'm going to do is start with, we'll go through and have everyone do a quick intro, who you are, who you're playing, and then we will jump into the game. So I'll go the order you guys logged in. So we'll start with Arlen.
All right. Hi, I'm Arlen. I don't have a ton of experience with role-playing games, but I'm eager to learn and excited about it. And I'm playing Jason, the Chimerian. He's a berserker. He can go into berserker rage, at which point everybody should move away because he has a 1 in 8 chance of attacking his fellow party members when he comes out of it. And aside from that, he's real good at killing things.
Excellent. And next up is George.
Hey, I'm George. I'm playing Mallow Black. He is a Chimera Celt warlock. He's got a couple of spells, but he primarily relies on his melee attacks. And he's kind of got a death wish, so you might have to hold him back from doing something stupid.
Nice. With the way we're using criticals, that should be
I know.
easy to accommodate.
That's what I'm worried about.
Okay. Next up is, I believe, Hobbs.
Oh, now you surprised me. Jeez. All right. So I am Jason Hobbs. I just started playing in Kevin's games, and I'm thinking about stopping. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding about that part. I'm playing Prada, a half-blood picked purloiner, which is kind of a thief cleric and a follower of Raven.
Very cool. And next up is Will.
My name's Will. I'm playing a monk who is named Amar, who is actually from Earth and went through a cave on Earth and ended up in Hyperborea.
Love it.
He is a Sikh and a warrior, not proselytizer, but almost like a warrior paladin kind of guy. I've played with Jason before, so this will be fun. And I made it through alive, so I'm really enjoying this.
Awesome. And last but not least is Colin.
Yes, I will be playing Kane. He is tall, dark, and serious. He's a Chimerian fighter, but a hunter at heart. He lives for the thrill of the chase.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so our scene, guys. So for those of you who haven't played with me before, I tend to indulge in a little bit of cinematic techniques in for framing scenes and things like that, or for killing entire parties, as Jason is aware. So our scene opens on a bleak and desolate subarctic coastline. We can see that there are stretching out in each direction is, let me just get to the thing here, is this blasted and forsaken landscape. It has at best what can be described as scrub terrain and fauna that is trying to survive in a forbidding environment. And at the coast, this terrain reaches this enormous cliff that is slick with the spray that comes from the coast, or the water rushing in on the rocky beach at the bottom of this. The cliffs themselves seem to tower over the tiny sliver of beach below. The waves that come crashing in are almost black. The overcast skies ahead offer very little light, and the darkened waves they basically conceal everything beneath them, apart from the smallest stones that lie at the edge of this beach. And the camera shifts down to the beach itself, and we see a single form come struggling out of the water. This woman, Hobbs, why don't you give us a quick description of what Preda looks like as she staggers onto the beach?
She is, past just reaching womanhood, beyond adolescence, but not into her full grown, probably in the late teens. Looks like she's got kind of auburn hair with hazel eyes. She has some mixed blood in her, likely Pictish. She's dressed in leather armor and has a short sword as a weapon. She looks like she's been through a few things, but still a loud, almost obnoxious cheeriness and excitement for beginning each day. Even just surviving out of some sort of wreck is obvious.
Okay, so she is waterlogged. Her supplies, her armor is drenched. The slumping of her shoulders tells us that she has been swimming for quite some time. But in spite of all of that, there's still a small, crooked grin that comes from her, the corner of her mouth. What she sees before her is these cliffs go swooping up before her, and she really can't see what lies atop that. The next person who comes staggering out, we'll say, is Amar. Why don't you give us a quick description of what Amar looks like? Well,
Amar is a short, dark brown skinned man with a full beard and mustache. He's wearing robes of just a really electric blue color, and he has a turban of orange around his head. What else can I tell you about how he looks? That's about it. He's short. I don't know if I've mentioned that. Yes, he's very short.
Okay, so a small brown-skinned man comes staggering out next to Preda, and in spite of whatever he has been through too, his robes and his turban seem impeccable. Next, out of the surf comes Jason. Arnold, you want to describe us what Jason looks like?
Yeah, he's a big guy. I think I rolled up 6'4" and 200 something pounds, and he's got 18 strength and a lot of constitution, so he's pretty strong. And one of the things, I don't know if there's a visual way to represent it, but you can tell that he doesn't feel the cold the way that everyone else is. He's got some sort of berserker fire in him is keeping him warm, keeping him healthy, even in the frosted waste of this land.
Awesome. So he comes staggering out, towering over Preda and Amar, his naked skin glistening in the what little light there is, and sort of his big shoulders heaving up and down, partially due to, I think, exhaustion, and partially just due to fury at the turn of fortune that has befallen him. Next comes staggering out a man probably equally large is Kane. Colin, why don't you give us a quick description of what Kane looks like as he staggers out?
Yeah, he staggers out looking fairly subdued in his sopping wet kit, his scale armor. He's noticeable in his hand. He's dragging a large striker's hammer, which betrays his previous life tied to the anvil of a smith. His past has also lent him great strength. You can see his broad shoulders and muscly torso. Even with the armor, it is clear, and he's slim, hard worker, and he wears his hair short, which is fairly unusual, and keeps his beard well trimmed, as there's a certain pride in his appearance.
Cool. Now, I think that is Jason wearing any armor, or is he bare-skinned?
He's got some light kind of studded armor. I think it's studded with bone because he's a barbarian.
So I think he has been helping Kane stay afloat. We can see the two of them have been, swimming together, and there's a chunk of wooden wreckage that's being played up and up and down the surf by the incoming waves. It seems that between Yason and the chunk of wood, that's what's kept you afloat, Kane, for all this time, in spite of your armor. And last, we see Mallow Black come staggering up. And what does Mallow look like?
So Mallow is dressed in some kind of exotic dark red, flowing, wrapped up in cloth all the way up through over his head. You can just barely see his eyes. You can tell he's got lots of lines. He's an older guy, and he's clutching his scimitar like for dear life, as if that's the most important thing to him in the world, and he didn't want to lose it in this wreck. And he comes up on shore, and he kind of turns back to the ocean, and with a look of disappointment, it says, "You better try harder, you bastard."
All right, so for giving all those introductions, guys, I am going to dole out 1 point of Astonishing Fortune to everybody.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So for those listening at home, Astonishing Fortune is not something in the core rule. It is something that I'm using as a house rule for this to mitigate a bit of the deadly bullshit that I intend to throw the players' way. So we will cut back and fill in what has brought you here, but you guys have more pressing problems because you see the if you take a look at your character sheets, I don't have track of what your equipment is. I'm going to leave that to you guys to track, but all of your rations are gone. They are either they were not brought with you when whatever misfortune has struck you, or they have been completely soaked by the seawater and are now inedible. If you have a wineskin, one thing I'm changing in the core rulebook, they say that the wineskin holds half a gallon, but that means that you would need to carry 2 of them in order to have enough water to get through the day. So I'm just going to say that the wineskin carries 1 gallon of liquid, which is enough to get you through the day. Does anyone carry more than 1 wineskin, or do you guys all have 1?
1.
Yeah,
1 for me.
1.
Everyone's got 1. Okay, so you've got at least. I think Yason is probably the one who is most conversant with the kind of the wilds and whatnot from the sounds of things. So Yason, you sort of do a quick check. No one's got any food, which means that you've got a couple of days before that will really start affecting you. But that is a priority. But more so is the water. You have 1 day of water before you run out of water, and then you have a couple of days after that when things will definitely go bad. So you guys are standing on the at the bottom of these high, like 50-foot tall, black, slick cliffs. What are you guys going to do? You look back and forth, up and down the coastline, and you can't tell, what one direction from the other direction. Let me just give you I'm going to move you over here. Let me get somebody. I got Yason chosen here, so I'm just going to use him. Let me show you where we are. Oh, there we go. I'll figure out some other way of doing the, let's see here. No. Boom. Doing the party token at another point, but this is where we are, guys. So what I can tell you, and we'll fill in a little more of the backstory in due course here. You were sailing east. You were on a ship that befell some kind of misfortune. You now find yourself at the foot of these cliffs. Does anyone have any secondary skills relating to like seafaring or navigation or anything like that?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm just a fisherman.
Oh, a fisherman. Okay, so that would be good enough. Fisherman, so what you know is that the tides will be coming in.
Okay.
So this rocky beach is not going to remain a beach all day. You will need to get yourself out of here.
So we need to move inland.
How big are these hexes?
The hexes are 8 miles.
Kevin, are there any ledges above us within so you got the 50 foot.
Yep.
Are there any lower ledges where we could sort of maybe make a first route to and rest before?
So you think that, like, with some kind of for those of you who are not thief classes, you think that if you had some kind of rope or something like that, this would be scalable. It's not easy, but it's definitely it's something that's doable. There are, this isn't a sheer like White Cliffs of Dover kind of thing. There are definitely handholds and stuff. It's just that doing it without a rope might be risky because of the spray from the surf making it so slick. But there definitely are, little places where gulls and, other kind of seabirds and stuff like that have made their homes. So it is scalable. It's a question for those of you who are of the thief classes or who have thief-like skills. Does a monk have climb walls?
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So you two guys could easily, I'm not going to make you roll for it. You could easily scramble up these things without difficulty.
And you said it was 50 foot?
50 feet high, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I've got a 50-foot silk rope too.
Oh, nice.
I can
Silk
climb
rope. Look
up
at you.
Hey,
Living
man.
large.
it's what was in the package there. In the
sweet.
Package.
Okay.
So
Kane carries a rope also.
Okay.
He just holds his arm out with a rope and glances across the other faces if there's anybody who wishes to take the rope. He don't say a lot.
Prado will take it.
I'll hold the bottom of the. So wait, is there any way of hooking it onto something? Do we have any kind of grappling hook or anything?
But we'll climb it up and then lower it down.
And
right. That was what I was thinking. Climb up and then lower it down.
Okay.
Perfect.
So, Prada and Amar, you guys are easily able to scramble up the sides of this. We see like at one point someone's boot goes into a gull's nest, and the gull kind of takes off into the air. But you're able to make it to the top of these cliffs relatively easily. You lower the ropes down, and you're able to bring up your. I think you have to kind of do it one at a time because Jason and Kane are pretty heavy, I imagine. So,
well, I can actually climb up myself. I have climbing as a thief too, so I think I'm not going to take the rope. I'm going to just after they've started the process, pipe up and say I can get up there by myself.
Okay, cool.
And then show off.
Yeah, so you scrambling up, and you wouldn't have thought such a big and burly man would be as nimble as he is, but climbs up it as if born to it. And then once he's up there, he can put his back into it and easily bring you up, Kane. So guys are up, and this is the where is it here? Boom. This is the view that you guys see stretching out in either direction. Now, what you guys were born for when the ship went down was, of course, the capital, or at least the capital of the settlement on Thule, Tuleborg. And Tuleborg, to your understanding, is to the east. The last thing you heard from the captain of the Gallant, the ship that you were traveling on, Gormal Twobeards, Gormal said it was about another day or so of sailing. So, the fishermen. So, Jason, you would probably think that's maybe like 90 miles or so.
That was Amar.
Oh, it was Amar. Sorry. So Amar, you're the fisherman. Sorry. That would be about 90 miles down the coastline still.
Okay.
That's quite a ways.
Yeah. So what we're doing for this campaign, guys, is I'm going to be using. Where is it? Oh, some adapted rules from the old Wilderness Survival Guide.
Oh.
Nice.
So we're playing up some AD&D. Now, the rules in that do get a little excessively detailed in it. But what but what we're going to do is because of the easy way of using tests and feats in Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea, Colin, for this game, what it does is you'll notice on your character sheet you've got like strength, dex, and con things where it's a test or a feat. Basically, what they've done is the game has expanded. Remember the old Ben Barr's Lift Gates stuff from? Yep. They've just applied that types of tests and feats to all the different physical attributes.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So what you guys can do is well, for one thing, right now I take it that no one took firewood as part of their kit. No.
Let me check my sheet quick.
Yeah.
Is a torch firewood?
A torch can be, but a torch only burns for 1 hour, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you definitely can use that. Does anybody have flint and tinder?
Yes, I do have that.
Yeah.
I have that. Yes.
Tinderbox. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So the things that you can do, the things that are pressing right now, are shelter. I mean, you guys have I don't think anyone has any tent or anything like that. So while, as you can see from that picture, there's really not trees, you're probably going to be able to try and scavenge something. So here's the things with, this is about midday, a little later. So you could travel for another hex throughout the day to get further on. When you do that, there's going to be obviously potential for random encounters. When you get where you are, someone will need to set up camp, and that will take some time. You can also, in the morning or in the evening, you can hunt. And the more of you that go along for that, the less likelihood you have of finding someone. You can also try and scavenge. You can try and pillage, not pillage. What's the word I'm looking for here?
Forage.
Forage. Thank you. Yeah, pillage. I want to go to a village.
Well, I could do that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely do that. So you can also forage. You can forage for edibles, or you can forage for medicinal things. If you've got some kind of background or a secondary skill or a background that would apply, your chances might be better.
Thank you.
You can also fish. From here, you'd have to go down to the coast to do that, but you can fish as well to try and get food. And what else can you do?
Well, didn't you say that they came in on some wreckage? Could we look around for some wreckage along the bottom before the tide comes in?
You could. I think that stuff is probably quite waterlogged. So with that, and then the ambient temperature right now is, and you have to forgive me, I'm in Celsius, not Fahrenheit, so I can't really help. But it's probably about like 5 degrees Celsius, which is
like 40 or something.
Unpleasant.
Yeah, unpleasant, definitely. So
it'll kill you.
So well, five wouldn't necessarily kill you, but it's certainly not. 0 is freezing.
Yeah.
But if you're soaked wet, and if it dips below 0 at night, it's going to be really unpleasant. So one of the other things you can do is forage for firewood.
I was thinking whilst we were moving around, looking at the terrain, thought there might be a chance of some grouse and maybe rabbits that we might startle out of the undergrowth.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking to shoulder my hammer and keep my short bow to hand with an arrow nocked, just in case there's an opportunity of a shot from the hip, as it were.
That is an excellent point. So one of the things, if you are choosing to hunt, you do need to use a weapon that, like a ranged weapon that does enough damage to be able to potentially fell a prey. So like darts are unfortunately not going to cut it, but like if you've got a spear, if you've got a bow of any kind, that will be sufficient for you to do the hunting. What you can also do is twice per day. So I'll allow you to do it for 1 hex. You can keep an eye out as you're traveling to try and spot water sources.
Mm-hmm.
Iason, you're from the kind of the north, right?
I am.
So,
I'm from the sort of northern steppe.
Right. Okay. So then something you would know as well is if worst comes to worst, if you guys can get a fire going, you can actually dig up dig down to the permafrost and then thaw that, and that will create water for you.
Well, I think what we need to decide is what are we going to do? It's half day over. So you want to stay here at camp and like try and forage for whatever food. Like we could send a guy hunting if that's what you want to do. And then we could try and just set up a camp here. Or do you want to move?
I mean,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, it kind of depends on how long it takes to forage and hunt and do those things. I would love to get moving, and we got to make our way anyway. But if it's going to take too much time to...
Does anyone have any secondary skills that would relate to like hunting or trapping or anything like that? No?
No.
Okay. So then you can forage for 2 turns, which is 20 minutes. And that gives you a chance. You can do that to a maximum of 4 turns, 40 minutes, but trying to look around. And then you kind of exhausted that area. And then you will find some stuff, and the stuff you can potentially find some stuff, and then that stuff may or may not be edible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, does that include like dry grouse or firewood? Or I guess grouse is a bird, isn't it?
Yeah, grouse is a bird.
Can we burn any of those things?
Sure.
Kill it with fire.
Yeah, so the you can look, and what I'll do is I'll roll and see how long it takes you to get enough stuff, depending on the size of the fire you want to make. So for the 4 or 5 of you guys, you don't need really a massive fire. So it will only take you. Now, the reason the time stuff is important is only because of random encounters.
Right.
Because the balance that you're going to have to strike here is whether you want to, get stuff done, what stuff you want to get done when. Setting up camp is going to be really very little work for you guys right now because you have no supplies. So let's see here. Setup time for this camp is going to be 1d2 plus 1 turns.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. That's not what I want. I want the fire. Where is it?
Is the landscape as truly treeless as it appears?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's what you've heard is that Thule is a blasted and empty land. You have heard that there is a sprawling forest further inland called the Frostwood, but the yeah, and unfortunately not yet. Okay, so a small fire will take you 6 turns to scavenge the so about an hour to get enough stuff. Now you still do have you have enough time to make get another hex of distance behind you and do all this setup and stuff like that. And if you travel as well, that'll give you a chance to look for water if you want. It also gives your DM a chance to roll for random encounters.
We should do that anyway.
Happy. Yeah.
Get away from the waters of the haunted coast. That sounds dangerous.
I like that, Prada.
Okay. Now, you will notice in the handouts as well, guys, you all have a copy of Nude's map.
Yep.
Yes. Right.
Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to keep that Nude's map as accurate as I can is you guys are free to try and use that to figure out where the hell you are.
I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right off the T and coast.
All right. So what are you guys going to do then?
Why don't we just head? It is 8 miles, so we should just start heading. Let's go inland for a hex, and then we can go along the coast. But let's all forage as we go.
Yeah.
And keep an eye out for a decent bit of shelter, I guess.
Okay. Who wants to make the roll for fresh water?
Can we know what test that is?
It's just a percentile check.
Oh, no, not affected by any stats?
No.
Oh, well, who cares then? Will, you better do it.
Okay, I'll do it. Let's see. What are we looking at here? Where's my other D10? Oh, there it is. All right, I got a 26 there.
26. So you are keeping your eye out, and while there does seem to be a ton of scrub brush and or not scrub brush, but lichens and whatnot, there seems to be life everywhere. You don't know where the hell it's getting its what do you call it? It's water from, because you can't seem to find a fresh source of it. Which you guys want to go to the top right there, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay, let me reveal what you see. Boom.
So much.
Okay. So you're trudging across, and it seems like this goes on forever. You're tromping along, you're keeping an eye out for things, and it doesn't appear that you haven't seen any wildlife yet. You haven't seen any sign of any civilization, and it seems like these rolling plains or rolling tundra does go on forever. But it is getting later in the day. It will be time to make camp. The sun will be setting soon. And in this overcast land, it's difficult to tell. It just seems to be getting a different shade of gray. So as you guys are setting up, who would like to look for firewood or something to start a fire? Does anyone want to forage? Does anyone want to hunt?
I'm up for hunting. I've got a crossbow.
Okay. Kane is a fairly fanatical hunter, so he's up for that. Okay,
so the way it works, guys, is for every turn that you, it's either every turn or every 2 turns that you spend, we'll make a percentile check and see if you come across any prey. If the more of you there are, it goes down by 5%, but you get more opportunities to try and fell stuff once you actually see it. So you'll have a certain percentage, and then each extra person, it goes down by 5%. Oh, we lost Colin for a sec there. Colin, are you still on the call?
Yeah, my Roll20's just had a meltdown, unresponsive. So I'm going to try and
just hit refresh. That often happens.
Okay. Prada will search because you look for firewood.
For firewood, okay. So Prada's, and that you can do on your own, or you can do with people.
I think Jason will help with firewood. Try to get some of that permafrost melted if we can, because we're gonna run out of water too quick.
Yeah. Does anyone have a shovel?
Good idea. No.
Okay. Okay. So Preda and Yesa are getting firewood, so that'll be 6 turns. Not Preda. Preda and Jason are doing firewood. Mallow and Kane are hunting.
Yeah.
Amar, what do you want to do?
I'm debating if I want to go hunting with them.
Okay.
I think that's what I'll do. I'll go and join the hunt as well.
Okay, so with 3 people, again, the more people who go along for the hunt, the less likely you are to find, the more likely that you're going to startle prey. But if you do come across prey, the faster you'll be able to take them down.
Less likely you'll be able to startle prey.
More likely you will startle. The more of you there are, the less likely you are to find prey.
Okay. So startling them too far in advance.
Yeah, so like they'll go away before you get there. Like there's a certain so there's a set percentage, and then for each additional person beyond 1, it goes down by 5.
Yeah, because you're trying to stalk them, and
yeah.
Right.
Amar, what you could do, if you could go along for that. Do you have a ranged weapon?
Yeah, I've got a light crossbow, and I've got a pretty high dexterity. So.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so that's pretty easy then. Yeah, I mean, and there is safety in numbers. So let's do this. First, I'm going to roll to see if anything happens while Preda and Jason are looking for firewood. Whew.
So we've just split the party, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure we were doing that.
Outstanding.
So the first thing we do is split the party. Okay.
Yep, that's great. So
right
how long did the campaign
Always.
last? 1 hex. It lasted 1 hex. All right, now who would like to make the roll for? There we go. Who wants to make the roll for hunting?
Kane, I think you're a better hunter than I am.
So it'll just be a percentile roll, and there is a dice roller in Roll20. If you can type /roll and then whatever dice you need, 1d100, or you can click on the little d20 over there, and it'll open up the dice roller for you.
Who's doing it? I missed it.
You are. You're playing with your
yes
patches.
That's how it was. That's what. So
Okay.
63.
63. Okay, so about 40 minutes go by of you guys stalking along these ochre-colored terrain, and no prey yet. Do you want to spend another 40 minutes?
Don't come back until you get something.
Yeah, I think we should.
Continue on. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll again, please.
Oh, you got the worst guy on the dice. You know that, don't you? 55.
55. Unfortunately,
All the
nothing.
fives. All the
Nothing
fives.
again. So after
Curses.
an hour and 20 minutes, it's getting far too dark to continue on. So you'll have to unfortunately go back and go your first day without food. However, you do have the fortune of a fire. Preda and Yason are able to collect enough material to get a fire going. Let me just clear out some people here.
At least we will be warm in our failure.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Is that everybody?
Just like the old days, all dressed up and nothing to eat.
All right. So then we will bring you guys around the warming glow of your fire. Now, can everyone see the fire and the tokens?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep.
Okay. I just want to make sure I've got... Roll20 has this stupid thing where you have to actually give sight to the tokens.
Yeah.
I forget that quite a bit. So.
It didn't used to be that way.
Oh, really?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay. So
There
let's
we go. Yeah.
check to see how the evening... Now, talk to me about watches. You guys only need 5 hours of sleep, but if you are keeping watch, that's going to cut into that. So are you guys going to do a sort of standard rotation of that?
Yeah, I mean, if we each do 2 hours, that's 10 hours of time. Everybody would get plenty of sleep.
Well, and how do we have, I mean, I'm sure since we were sailing, we probably have some sense of how long dark actually lasts up here. If it's summer or winter, it might be longer or less time.
Yep.
Right?
This is a late spring.
Late spring?
One thing we're going to set aside, Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea at default has this really complicated and fucked up calendar. It's very cool for it's an amazing thing for simulating the setting, but it's a pain in the ass for keeping track of and whatnot. So I'm just going to use the standard roll of seasons because Thule is magic. So this is late spring. You can imagine it.
So it's still a shortish. If we're in the northern latitude, it's going to be a shortish day.
That's right. Yeah.
So we can afford to spend 10 hours sort of sat about, can't we?
Yep.
Except for that hunger thing.
Yeah, we should be good for a week without food.
So
and then we can start eating the smallest people.
Come get some.
It would only take one of you big guys.
They're hard to kill.
Okay. So let's see here. 5 days. You can go 5 days without food before you start having problems. Water, much less so.
Yeah.
That is more of a problem. But even then, water, I think it's like 2 days before you start worrying about having to take strength or contests.
Is all this snow about or not then?
There is not, no.
Okay.
And is Jason able to use some of this fire to access the permafrost and melt something?
Well, to get to the permafrost, you would need to have some kind of...
We did dig, right.
Yeah, like permafrost is effectively, for those of you who are not from a northern clime, permafrost is soil that never thaws. It's basically like it's icy mud that just doesn't ever thaw. So you can dig down a bit, you get to it, and you can chip it out. It's just that it's no more, it's no easier than chipping through a chunk of ice. Okay. So it is a survival option. Just I'm not sure you guys are equipped with the tools for it. So guys, you are now 1 day as the well. Let's see what happens during the night.
Oh, I thought you already did that. No takebacks.
No. What do you mean no take back? I don't think you understand this relationship, Hobbs.
No take back.
Okay. The evening passes uneventfully.
Awesome.
So morning dawns, and you find yourselves back in. Oops, I zoomed way the fuck out now. There we are. And a day before you, you have now, this is at early morning. You guys are free to try and hunt again, if you'd like. Before you set out.
I think the hunting, maybe we should just skip that, find water and go as quickly as we can, because we should be able to make 80 miles in the less before we run out of food, but we really need water, and we can search for water as we walk.
True. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Are there any mountains or anywhere where we can see that might be a likely place for a stream where there's any vegetation or something that may betray some sort of water?
No, unfortunately, from where you can see, it does appear as if this stretches out forever. You've heard that there are mountains in the northern part of what's been explored here. You've heard that there is you can see on Nude's map that oopsies thing here. There is an island called Hexo, or Witch Isle, that is surrounded by forbidding mountains, but nothing you can see here.
I see.
Okay.
So where are we going next then, guys?
I should continue northeast, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think as close as we can get to a straight shot towards Tuleborg is probably the best way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then let me reveal. Go ahead and give me someone give me a percentile roll, please.
Who wants to?
I got it.
Guy,
Right? Who wants to take the blame for not finding
Exactly.
Let's see. I got a 41.
41. Unfortunately, no water again.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay. But the first part of your day, 4 hours of travel, passes uneventfully. Which way do you want to head now, guys?
Head straight east.
Straight east? Okay.
Yeah.
Move you over. We will reveal. Ooh. Let's see if anything happens during the day. Oh! I mean...
I love it when the DM does that.
I actually had this week, I had a session of Barrow Maze where I rolled God, this is Hobbs, his fucking luck. I rolled 12 random encounter possibilities and nothing came up. 3 fire beetles was the extent of what the party faced.
Ooh,
yeah, I know. Fucking bullshit.
You want beetles? Right. You want 60-foot beetles, mate?
Exactly.
Who would do that?
Godzilla.
Oh, I don't know. No idea.
Okay. Now, in this game, what we do is we do group initiative. So just one person is going to roll a d6, and that will be the initiative. And we also roll for surprise. And the way we've been doing this customarily is one person rolls initiative until they fuck it up, and then it passes to the next person. And same thing with surprise. So who wants to be initiative? Who wants to be surprise?
I like Hobbs's luck.
Okay.
Please do one of those.
Bad luck is luck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do the surprise roll.
Okay.
Okay.
And who wants to roll for
bitch?
Hobbs, go ahead and give me a surprise check.
Oh, okay. He did.
You are immediately fired.
I don't usually have that good of luck when I'm rolling. It's only when other people are.
Oh, okay.
I'll do the initiative just so I can take the blame for it.
Okay. So you are unfortunately surprised. Let me see if no, they are not surprised. So let me just roll for distance. And we will see what happens. One sec here. Okay. You know, it's lovely having everything in one big book, but it is a bit of a pain trying to find stuff sometimes.
I agree. I also then bought the PDF so I could search for things.
Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah. My PDF. I feel like it's necessary to just have a ton of bookmarks because it's so long. But I have class pages and all of the tables that I could find that seemed useful.
And their ready reference sheets are super helpful.
Yeah.
Oh, I have
on their site. Yeah.
I'm getting a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, let me just get out the characters that aren't actually here. Okay. And I'll add Amar in here. Because he doesn't want to miss out on the fun.
Oh, no.
Okay. So let me see here. So the map is unfortunately going to be a little ugly just because I had to kind of cobble together. There are very few tundra maps available online. Turns out that very few D&D settings are in a bleak and featureless map. So you will find yourselves in the middle of the map there. Let me maybe move you back a scooch here.
Do we want to figure out our marching order?
Yeah, go ahead. Figure that the front will be on the right.
I would love to be in the line of fire.
Nice.
So
I'm gonna stand up next to Mallow and be up at the front, sword out, just ready to kill some baddies.
Okay.
Well, my modus operandi was to have my bow with the arrow waiting for grouse to pop out. So I feel I should either be kind of forward or kind of backward, probably forward.
Yep. You can put yourself out to the side as well, too. Or each square is 5 yards.
okay.
I'm probably in about the right place there, I suppose.
Hey Kevin, I can't remember in this game. Is it like old school D&D where dungeon and wilderness, the number is the same, but the actual distance is feet versus yards?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I actually can't remember if that's the case with this, but that's exactly how I'm treating it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let me think here. The distance I rolled. Okay. So you guys are making your way along. Give me who are the two who were hunting? It was Kane and
Mallow.
And Mallow. Okay, go. Each of you guys give me a D6 roll, please.
Four.
Nice. Oh, 6. Nice. Okay. So, Kane, you're the one who spots this first. You see finally some actual movement that isn't like a bird that's just, darting away too quickly. And it appears to be like and actually a fairly large furry kind of form. 4 legs, like you'd think it's like a dog or a wild dog or a wolf or a coyote or something like that. And you get your bow up and you're about to line up a shot when you see this thing, its eye sort of looks at you and you realize that the vast majority of this thing's face has rotted away.
What?
Yeah. And there are on the wrong layer here.
There goes dinner.
Yeah, won't be eating that.
Yeah.
The wrong layer. Objects and tokens. So there are a small pack of these. Imagine if like wolves that were roadkill were able to get up and then begin hunting. That's what is slowly making its way stalking towards you. Now, unfortunately, you guys did fail the or you were surprised. So Kane, your mouth kind of gapes open at this, and you're struggling to find the words to warn your allies when these things come, charging in. So I'm going to place them about.
You almost did your humanoid zombie voice.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming! It's coming!
You got to change it for these. You got to come up with a.
One of my favorite things about DMing is making the sounds for my my zombies. So, there we go. Few hops. All right, so these things are all charging in. And let's see here. I'm just going to place them in about there. So not quite to you. I'm only giving them a half round so we can let the initiative determine it. So, George.
Oh, yeah.
Woo, it's on your narrow shoulders here.
Yeah, I can definitely see what
Let's see. I rolled a 5.
I rolled a 5.
Nice. All right. So that means you guys are tied, which means it goes down to dexterity to determine tie breaking. Now, I fucked up already, and I should have had you guys declare your actions.
Oh, declare actions, right.
Yeah, so let's do this. We'll retroactively do this. So if you guys could kindly just type in what your actions are going to be. Remember that you can you're going to split them up, but you can always do your move during each, or split up between those phases. And then
I've lost the chat window in Roll20. It's just the map. How do I toggle that back on?
You know what? You see those on the right side? There's a little series of 3 bars.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you hover on that, that should open up your chat again. That closes and opens.
I'll try clicking it if it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Cool. Yeah. Nice.
Okay. We're on to coffee number 2. Okay, so we got, let's see here. George declared. Arlen's declared. Hobbs, Colin, and Will. If you can just type in what your actions are going to be, and then we'll dump into your rounds. Now, remember that, just as a reminder, you can move half your movement in yards. So if you've got a move of 30, you could do a half move and attack.
Is there any form of cover anywhere? Rocks?
There's maybe it's like taking a look at the let's see here, where is it? Tundra. There's probably show the players. There's probably like little outcroppings like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to try and get like some partial cover.
Yeah, I just want to, because I want to be shooting.
Sure, yeah.
So if there's something, so there's some rocks behind me. I want to dash and.
So the way that moving and missiles work is you have your attack rate with missiles if you choose to move. If you stay stationary, you can attack at your full rate. If you move, it halves what your attack rate is.
Okay, I'm just going to stand and fight then. So.
Okay.
Is there a spot that Parada looks like she could hide?
Probably. I mean, maybe if you ran fairly far away, you could.
Oh, no, that's not worth it then.
Yeah.
Oh, is attack a thing?
No, attack. What you want to list is melee or missile.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Right, because what the phases will go through is melee, missile, magic, move.
How
I'm making mine more clear here.
How large is each square there?
Each square is 5 yards.
Okay, 5 yards. Okay, thanks. So let me go double check on this.
I switched mine to magic hold.
Okay, and a hold is if you do have an action for it, it's just declare what if X then Y. If I see something, I'm going to attack. I'm going to shoot it. If I'm going to whatever. So like if you want to charge. Oh, and when you guys get into melee as well, regardless of whatever the initiative is, whoever has a larger weapon gets to attack first. These things, their snout is a very small weapon, so anybody who has weapons will be able to attack before them.
That's not a very nice thing to say
about their snout.
Yeah,
yeah.
Talking about the size of their snout.
Yeah. All right, so let's see here. We got all right. Everyone has declared, I think. Oh,
hold on,
Amar.
There we go.
Nice. Okay. Then So first up is melee. They are going to close, but their dexterity as undead hounds is garbage. So I think that everybody has a dex higher than 10. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. No one's used dex as a dump stat. That's good to see. Okay, so then you guys are first. Who wants to go?
Melee first. I'm assuming that's what you're doing.
We're in melee.
Will.
I'll just rush up there.
Okay, go ahead and move your guy.
Attack.
You should have control over your token.
Yep. All right, up to this one right here.
Okay.
I'll meet his charge.
And
I'll
let's see.
attack with my scimitar.
Okay, so your Thaco is a 19. So that their AC, you need a 12 or higher to hit.
All right. So
remember to add any bonus you get to your roll from weapon mastery or from what do you call it? Your stats.
Strength. Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
Hot damn.
I am attacking one-handed. Two-handed. Sorry, I have no shield.
Okay, so that is definitely a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Wow.
Right in
Okay.
its face and scream at it.
So this thing comes charging towards you, snarling. You race forward, swing that scimitar, and give me a description of how you cleave this thing in twain.
I right straight to the middle of its head, so it falls apart as it goes down, and then I kick half of the head away.
Nice. All right, who wants to go next?
I can go.
I'll do something similar.
Yeah,
Yeah, go,
Nice.
go.
Yeah. I'm going to charge in and attack him.
Go ahead. Thaco is the same, so it's 17. No, sorry, 12 or 17. Like a bullshit DM. Hey, nice.
All right.
So that's definitely a hit.
And let me check. 1d8 plus 4.
And boom, that is enough
damage.
to kill it.
Nice.
So, and what are you using? What weapon?
I'm using my bastard sword one-handed.
Nice. So you go racing in, swoop down, and yet another of these disgusting animated hounds is gone. Who's next?
I can go. Kane winds up, and they're coming at us. Yeah. They're,
Yep.
they're-
Yeah, oh,
they're
yeah.
like on. So just as it's at the perfect range, I just
Nice.
sling the two-handed sledgehammer in an arc.
So you're waiting for it to come to you?
Yeah, just as it,
Okay, so it goes charging in, but you are ready.
and just time it, boof, and hopefully connect here.
Okay, so you get to add your whatever your bonus is.
12.
12 or
I've got a +2 on there.
nice.
12.
That's just enough. So you there's a split second where you think you may have misjudged this, and this thing may have come in too fast, and you swing that mighty hammer of yours. Go ahead and roll damage.
So damage is 2d6. Ooh, 2d6 +4.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that. That is choice. Two of
Nice job,
those.
Budsky.
Yeah.
Lamp.
Wow. 9 plus. What did I say? +4.
Yep.
Yeah. 13.
Okay.
Unlucky for some.
Let's point out one cool feature of the fighter that I completely fucking forgot to mention. These things count as lesser foes. They have 1 hit dice, which means your attack rate is doubled for this.
Okay.
So
that
your
include the
attack rate is what,
subclasses,
3-2?
Yeah. 3-2.
So that means you get 2 attacks this round.
2-1.
Yeah.
And Kevin,
So
is
you
that
get
just
a second
straight?
attack later?
Is that just straight fighters, or is that the subclasses of fighters?
Just the
as
straight
well?
fighters. That's the
Okay,
benefit for
cool.
the yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, so Kane, yeah, you fucking shatter this thing as it comes in, and you basically knock back, like the momentum of it running forward is driven back by the force of your blow.
I caned it.
Anybody else want to take a melee action?
No, I'm shooting my crossbow. So
Okay, so then we've got them charging into melee. Right, so let's do one in on the front guys, I think. So we'll do one on Kane, one on Malo, and one on Jason. Okay.
So if another one's charged into me, then Kevin, as a fighter, this one's gonna get some hammer time.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Go ahead.
Okay.
Make another attack.
Wouldn't that be in the second phase?
You can actually make 2 attacks in the first phase as a fighter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Well, and he automatically, because he has a longer weapon, right, gets to steal initiative in this fight.
Exactly. So yeah, if he declared that he was going to do both of them.
Boom! Yeah. Feel the pain.
Nice.
Okay, and damage?
7.
7 points.
No, 8 that is. 8 that is.
8, which is the maximum on hit points I can have. So, boom! One down. The other one comes running in. Wham! It's down. All right, so Malo, this one comes snarling in on you. Okay. It's actually not making any sound, which is maybe even more unnerving. You can just see because its throat has all rotted away. What is your AC?
6.
A 6. Okay, so that means I need a 13 or higher to hit you.
You missed.
12, just barely missed.
Nice.
So this comes running in, it snaps at you, and you like deke to the side, and it snaps out and catches a little bit of your crimson robe.
Yes. On the side.
What's your AC?
My AC is 4.
Holy shit. Okay, so then I need a 15 or higher to hit you. Nat 1. So as this thing comes scrambling in, I think that like timing wise, they were probably coming in at almost the exact same moment. You smash the one down, and this thing staggers over it and kind of falls to the ground prone. So that is it for melee. Next up is missile phase. Anybody got missile in the first phase?
Yeah, that's what I was going to shoot my crossbow, but they're both engaged in melee, correct?
Yep.
That's a bad idea, right?
Well, it only means like you in this game you don't get any penalties, but if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, you potentially hit your ally.
And that's on a D20?
That's on a D20, yeah.
Oh, I'll risk it. And it's / roll D20.
Yep. Nice.
So that's 15, 16, 17, 18 with my.
That is definitely a hit. Oh, fuck.
And I believe it's 1d6 for the. I think it's 1d6 plus 1 actually.
Yep, and that does that's piercing. So it actually may not be quite as effective as some of the other weapons.
So it's 4 total damage.
4 total damage. And which of the two? The one on Malo or the one on Jason?
Let's see. I'm looking to see. Let's go with from where I am. Yeah, let's go with the one on Jason.
Okay, on Jason. So I'm just going to put a little. Whoopsies. Put a little token on it here. Boom. So you know which one's been hit. So this hits it, but it doesn't seem as like this thing does not react the way that live prey would.
Okay.
Okay. So it's you get the sense that that it's sticking into dead flesh. So it's not the piercing wasn't quite as effective as you were expecting. Let's see here. That's gone. So we're it for melee or for missile for first phase. Magic.
All right. So Preda will call forth the powers of Raven, and a loud ruffling of feathers and a distant caw echoes across the land. And awesome. These creatures are blighted.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
What does blight do?
Yeah, they got a -1 on all attack rolls.
Do I have any save against that, or is it just?
Nope.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Nice. So that is done. Okay. I think that's it for phase 1. Yeah, no one's got just movement. Then we go into phase 2. Anyone can make a half movement. Doesn't look like anyone. Kane, you've got melee, but I don't think you've got naturally 2 attacks per round, right? I think next round you've got 4 attacks.
Yeah, my attacks is 3, 2.
Yeah, so that means 1.
Yeah.
So it would have been 1 first phase, doubled to 2, and then 2 second first round, 2 second round, and then doubled to 4 against 1 hit die creatures. Okay, so then actually nothing happens on the second phase. So you guys are sort of facing off against one another, and we come to the end of round 1. So top of round 2, George.
Ding, ding.
I'm gonna roll mine.
So we gotta declare.
We gotta announce.
We gotta declare. Yeah, too excited. So go ahead and declare your actions, guys. I'm glad someone's in charge here. Jeez.
Amar is gonna.
You can half move. Yeah.
There's no penalties to attack, right?
No.
See, so I'm gonna move / away.
Nice. Melee times 2. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to say is for the move things, if you're taking move as an action, you will do like steal the rule from Pathfinder and just say that you can automatically like either stow or draw a weapon for free.
Oh, great.
Okay, so that way, because I mean, that seems appropriately cool. But what that does mean is that if you've got a weapon in your hand, you're going to have to either drop it or spend your move stowing it. So Amara, I'm guessing you might be tossing your crossbow to the ground and then drawing your weapon for free.
Yeah, he doesn't have to draw a weapon. He's hand to hand.
Oh, right. So he's just racing in. So
he's just dropping that and coming in with the fists of fury.
What is his move rate?
His move rate is actually unencumbered and unarmored is 50.
Okay, so just I don't want to play your character for you, but you remember you can combine a melee attack with a half move.
Oh, was that like a charge?
Yeah, not a charge, even just a half move. So you can move 20 feet. A charge is something separate where it gives you a bonus to your damage.
Okay,
but it leaves you open to people fixing spears against charge. But I'm just counting the distance here, and these things are only 4 squares away, and it's 20 yards. You can move 20 yards as a half move.
Yeah, then that's that's better. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, so then you rolled 4, I rolled 4. Once again, we're tied. Ties go to the people with higher decks. So you guys are the melee fighters. Who wants to go first?
Jason, want to go?
Sure. Let me see if I can't finish this one off.
Here we go. Winds up with that bastard sword of his. Ooh, definitely a hit.
Definitely a hit. And I think I kill him automatically just based off of, I have 1d8 plus 4, so I'm pretty sure that does enough to kill him.
1d8 plus 4. Yes, that will. Well, you're using slashing against him as well, so I do need to make a.
Okay.
He's actually injured. No, you know what? He's been injured by that piercing thing. So yeah, this thing is swip. It's almost as if you're like batting aside an insect. Who wants to go next?
Kevin. 5-yard squares. I need to move 3 squares to get a diagonal on this beast.
Yep.
Is that still effective, or do I need to be like square on it?
No, I'm fine with that. Yeah, this is still pretty abstracted. Like I don't. I like using a map for this level, like this many players, just because it's easy to track where people are. But I don't want this to bog down to like a, Pathfinder level of like, well, you've only actually moved the.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's why all Pathfinder players have that voice. Okay. They talk like that.
If we're not doing it that way, I'm out, Kevin.
I want my crunch and minutia. That's what I hear about Jason.
Yeah, because Jason's hardcore Pathfinder, man.
Right.
I want my game to have feats and flanking bonuses and situational modifiers.
Oh wait, I'm gonna use one of my powers that interrupts.
Yeah, exactly.
You bring in that 40 death.
So George, did you go, mate?
No, do you want Colin? Why don't you go ahead?
No, you go, man. I thought you.
Cool.
You go for it. You're right
Jason, Jason, that blight it gives a +1 to attack, or it's a -1 to their AC.
It's just a -1 to their attacks.
To their attacks. Okay, great, got it. Here we go. This is my first attack.
My dogs, come on.
Oh, that's not going to work. So let's try that again.
Here we go.
So it's my second attack.
Oh,
right, natural 20.
Nice.
Awesome. So first crit of the campaign.
Yeah, so it's a D6. Kev,
Give me a D6 roll, please.
Yeah.
At least it was ours instead of theirs.
Yes. Right.
All right, so a 5 on the crit roll.
Times 3 damage.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's roll.
So if I remember correctly, it's basically rolling 3 dice and adding the modifier after.
Yeah, and then you add your modifier to it. You don't multiply the stat bonuses or the other bonuses like the weapon mastery or stat bonuses. It's just the dice that are multiplied.
Okay, cool. I'll take this. My scimitar goes into its body, and then so do my hands. And I just like go right through the thing. And I'm just dripping with the gore. And I'm not a berserker, obviously, but I seem to be enjoying this kill.
Amazing. Okay. So your first encounter with wildlife in the blasted land of Thule has ended in victory and no significant effect on our heroes. So that was I think that was the second part of your day as well. So let's see what the other hour gives you. The rest of the trip for that day is uneventful. Now, these things do not have any obvious, treasure or loot or stuff like that. So I'm assuming that's why you guys didn't ask to loot the corpses.
I think I'm going to take a fang.
Okay. It's disgusting and, rotted and whatnot. So
perfect.
It easily comes off.
It reminds me of death.
Yes, it does. Okay. And let's go back to our map and talk about making camp.
It just occurs to me, guys, we were talking about all our rations being ruined.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talked about capacities of wineskins. Had we determined that we'd lost our wineskins also? Or
No,
you have your wineskins still.
So we haven't run out of liquid yet.
You have run out of liquid yesterday. Those only have 1 gallon. You need to go through 1 gallon of water a day to stay healthy. You are now out of water.
Okay,
so
my mistake.
We didn't roll for finding a water source for that second. So someone give me a percentile check for that second half of your day.
You got this. Will percentages on our side.
All right, let's see what happens if I actually do it in roll 20.
Here we go. If you ask some of my players, they say that it always rolls low, so that maybe
except this time.
Nice.
Yeah,
still no water.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
There's a 99% chance of not finding water.
Yeah, exactly.
Really? Okay, let me see here. What?
So we're only able to travel 16 miles a day. Is that what you're saying?
That's right, because of the terrain. And because of some of you guys have a 30-foot movement. Okay, so I'm just quickly reading the water requirements. I can't remember how many days go by before you start getting affected by that. And yeah, so it's 5 days without food. And it is 2 days without water.
Yeah, I thought you said that, yeah.
Yeah, so this is the end of today. You are feeling a little pasty mouthed. Now, what do you guys want to do for the evening? Who's going to search? Who's going to get firewood? Who is going to hunt? Who is going to scavenge?
I'm happy to join in the hunting.
I was going to say, why don't we drop one hunter and have three people scavenge?
Oh, then I'll scavenge because I think Kane is a better hunter than me.
Okay. So we have 2 hunters. And who's going to take the time to get firewood? Or are you guys going without light?
I will get firewood. And so we have 1 firewood, 2 scavengers, and 2 hunters, right?
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
We got Jason and Mallow who are scavenging. We got Kane and Amar who are hunting. And we got Preda who is getting firewood. Okay. Okay. So let's first do the hunting because that sounds kind of exciting. Who wants to make the percentile roll for the first 40 minutes of hunting?
I can do that.
Okay,
yeah, I can do that.
Whoa! Oh, it's a 10. Oh, which is a 0.5. Nice. You guys do come across some prey. Give me a D6 roll, please. Nice.
6.
Holy shit.
Ching.
Awesome.
Gonna find a bear and have to fight it.
So what you come across, you guys are out, and you can kind of picture that like you guys are fucking starving. You're thirsty. It feels like this land is nothing but like unwelcoming. And as you crest this one rise, the wind coming at your face, you can see two of the largest elk that you have ever seen.
Nice.
Massive creatures. So let me see what. So what you can do is I make a dice roll to see if you've scored a hit on it. Now, it takes you 1 hit to kill a small creature, 2 hits to kill a medium creature, and 4 hits to kill a large. And we keep going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a d10, and if I exceed your roll, that means you can make another shot while they're still in range. If I roll under, that means they've run, and you may have to pursue them to try and track a wounded animal. In terms of the food you can get out of these things, a large creature depends on how much time you spend with treating the carcass. If you spend a whole day kind of treating it, I believe it's something ridiculous like 20 rations that you can get out of a large. Yeah, well, 24 rations from a large if you spend a full day doing it. Otherwise, 6 to do it quicker.
We might as well prep it properly, because it's not like we're on a, we want food, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And I'm thinking you could probably drink that blood and get some hydration from it as well.
You may get something else as well too.
Yeah, I was going to say drinking blood is a universally bad idea.
So how did your character die? Was it a lich? Was it a white? No, it was an intestinal parasite.
Some tainted elk blood.
All right, so let's roll here. You guys line up. You sort of like spare a wordless exchange between the two of you as you line up your crossbow and your bow, and 2 shots are out. 2 shots hit.
Nice.
And this thing blinks out, and you have an opportunity to make 2 more shots. Faster. Oh! So, this thing is on its way. You're able to get a second hit. One of you guys gets a second hit. This thing is nearly down. It starts fleeing. What I'm going to get you guys to do is make an attack roll against it. Okay? Just to see if you can drop this thing finally.
Boom!
Oh! Wow.
There's no need for me to roll.
Colin, you had mentioned before how much of a hunter that Kane is. Why don't you give us a cool description of how you down this thing?
He he sees the flash of movement. He just he drops to one knee, simultaneously draws back the bow, tracking shot, boosh, flies through the air, straight behind the forelegs to the heart, boom.
Beautiful, and it drops down. The second one kind of scampers off across the tundra. But you guys have felled your first creature.
Nice.
You make your way over to it, and the thing that is shocking about this, like there is obviously megafauna elsewhere in Hyperborea as well too. But this thing, imagine an elk that's effectively the size of like a draft horse or like a Clydesdale.
Wow.
It's just fucking huge. And I guess all you can think right now is like just how much food that is going to come from this thing. So that was successful.
I just clasped Mallow by the shoulder, and this is the first time you see Kane looking kind of exuberant. He's a big kind of grin. He never cracks a smile, but he's got his teeth are smiling, and he kind of gives you the warrior's arm shake. Like we're hunting brothers, man. We've done this. Let's go.
It's Amar who's with you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's me. But
is it Amar? I thought it was. Oh, okay.
He got so excited.
He ran back and come back again. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm standing here like, how am I supposed to carry this thing?
And Amar, the way you described it is pretty small too. So you probably this giant man picks up this little guy in a hug.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Embrace him. Yeah, spin him round with his legs flailing from the ground.
That's awesome. Okay, let's see what. So the hunt was successful. Let's see how the scavenging went or the foraging. So, guys, why don't you go ahead? Either Mallow or Yason, give me a percentile roll.
Arlen, you want to do the honors?
Sure.
Okay. So the first two turns? So first 20 minutes that you're kind of looking around the area of the camp, you're not able to find anything, but you can do that again.
You want to go back and forth? I'll try this one.
Sure.
See how our.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ooh.
I lose food.
You come back and take a shit on the elk.
I had a candy bar.
Okay, so you guys are, looking around. You're well away from the camp and trying to find some thing. And let's see here. Hobbs was rolling surprise, but he's been fired. So, Yason, give me a surprise check, please.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Nice, not surprised. Awesome. Okay, so give me 2 moments here to quickly get something ready. Okay. And obviously, when the DM stalls like this, it's always good news, right?
Oh, yeah.
Look at this. You've encountered a giant pile of candy.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. So let's hear. This was Yason and Mallow out here. Move these dudes over here. And let me quickly drop something in here. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. A pretty good job with the hunting there, guys.
Hey, it was pretty much all Kane.
Wow. It's a group effort, man.
I was there for moral support.
No, yeah, you guys both got some pretty good. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, we did relatively well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, let's take all the time so we can get all the rations out of that thing as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so in about an hour's time, I'm going to regret this. I dropped a D4 on the ground, and I can't see where it went. So
that's like Lego. That's worse than Lego.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I got $5. It says it's a half hour.
Yeah. Sneak attack. All right, we got. All right, okay. And let's see here, Hobbs. Why don't you give me a D6 roll, please?
Here he goes.
Let's see here. Ooh, 5. Oh, Dana.
Hobbs, you're moving around the screen. He's now over there. Unruliness.
Okay, so here's what happens. You guys are sort of scavenging around in the in this tundra. You've managed. You still haven't found anything that seems to be edible. You're picking up stuff, and you're like, "This is no one can eat this. How are we going to live on this?" And you're fortunately, because you're apart from the sound of the constant swirling of wind, you hear this sort of like the sound of metal on metal, which both of you guys recognize, the sort of scratch of armor moving. And what you do is you look over in the dying light, and you see 5 figures pulling themselves up. They're covered in the boreal, some of the lichen and whatnot. Like it's grown over these things as they're and staggering to their feet. You are not surprised. They're about 30 yards away from you guys. So why don't we declare some actions now? Thanks to Hobbs, as soon as someone calls out for help, it will be 5 rounds for the other heroes to get to them. So, Yason and Mallow, what are you guys doing?
I think I'm so far that I just gotta move. Right, like this is. Can I even see these things?
You can definitely see them. Yeah, there are 5 of these things that are pulling themselves up.
Okay. So, oh, actually, I'm actually closer than the rest.
Let's see here. You're about 10, 20. Yeah, you're about 30 yards away.
I'm up in the front. Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna do. I will do. Can I do? I can't do a. I can only do a half move on my. All right. So what I'm gonna do is a half move on face
charge. Like a charge is I think your full move, isn't it?
Charge half. It says.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Half an attack. Yeah.
No, running attack
is a half move for the first phase, and then another half move for phase 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna get a penalty to my AC.
Why don't you come back to us?
Yeah. I'm want me to move back. Huh. That goes against my principles.
Yeah, I think if we can say something real quick, I'm gonna tell Mallow. I think we can take him.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I move. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna do.
Yeah. So why don't we declare actions,
I
guys?
want to attack him in a charge because I won't get there.
Yeah.
So
just type in whatever you're choosing for first, second round, and then we'll roll initiative.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for that D4 as well while you're doing that.
I like it how you have to type in your orders, so it's a contractual obligation.
That's right.
Exactly.
I never said that. Oh, yeah, well, it says right here.
Holy shit. So this goddamn thing was like 2 feet away from where I put my foot.
See.
Random encounter with a D4. That sucks. All right. Oh, Jason's going to go nuts.
He is. He's ready to kill something.
Awesome. Then, George, you are up for initiative.
Oh, yes. Here we go.
Oh, shit. I got a 6.
Here we go. Ah!
Okay.
All right. I'm fired, but it was close.
So these things are moving first. So first phase, however, they are very slow. So they're only staggering forward 15. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there we go. And because these are skeletons, I am not able to make my zombie sound. I want to make it anyway.
Son of a...
Okay, so they are staggering forward for phase 1. You guys go ahead. Each of these things has a corroded, sword or axe in there. Actually, what axe would have corroded away? So I think it's just probably they have swords. So who wants to go next? Let's hear. Jason is on melee. Who's got melee? Neither of you guys.
Neither of us are melee first round, but I think Jason's gonna step up and he sort of beats his chest for a second and then just lets out this kind of wolf howl noise.
Awesome.
And in the film version, we can see his muscles bulge and he goes into this, the feral rage of the berserker.
Awesome. And what we see is, we cut back to camp, and all of you guys are, you're bringing back the food. We've Prada's started a little fire, and you hear this scream, this primal howl from elsewhere, and you all sort of look at each other. There's a split second where you're all sort of realizing together and grab your weapons and start heading off in that direction.
Well, I was going to say, I'm sure it's nothing. Let's just.
Yeah, we're good. I'm sure. Okay, so then that was the end of phase 1. Next phase is melee.
Oh, and in phase 1, I'm moving half.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in between spots here. So I'm basically getting essentially up to it.
Yeah. So then you guys have the roughly same size weapon, so there's no advantage that you have necessarily, which means they get to go. All right, so we have 2 of these things staggering forward. Mm-hmm. And what is your AC? Is a what again? A 6?
6, yes.
6. Okay, so then I need what do I need? I need a 13 or higher to hit you. Okay. So let's see here. So 2 of them come forward and engage. Oh shit, both hit.
Okay.
Oh, 6 points of damage in total.
So, and I've got damage reduction 1, so it'd be 4.
Yes, that's right.
Okay,
so just 4 points of damage.
Perfect.
That is one thing I love about Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers is that that's a really cool feature.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think these guys can quite reach you, Jason, either. They're coming forward. And that last one, George, you want me evens or odds?
I'll be odds.
Odds, okay. And that is going for your colleague.
That's all right.
Sorry.
My attack rate's 5-2. I'm going to murder these guys.
Awesome.
Nice. Okay, so then it is your turn for melee, guys.
All right. I will flip my scimitar over in my hand now that I'm awakened by taking some damage.
Yep.
And I'll make my attack.
Malo calls out, they're not friendly.
Yeah. I think these guys are evil. Okay, 16 total, which hits
Definitely
AC
hit.
for me. Okay, cool.
Yeah, their AC is kind of garbage. Turns out sentries can be not great, but let's see. Let's see. Is it enough? It is enough. One of them goes down. You slash out with your scimitar, your eyes dancing in the dying light. Jason.
So as I step forward to take on two of these, I'm also just dropping the shield, two-handing the sword, all in to attack them.
Yeah.
One attack, that's probably not enough.
That's unfortunately not. Your fury has taken hold of you, and like a wild river, it's left you out of control.
Well, but I get a second attack because my
let's
attack
see.
rate. Ooh,
Oh,
better.
just barely enough, so you're able to
Barely
correct it.
enough.
Yeah, and hammer one of them. Go ahead and make your damage roll.
It is. Yeah, 2d6 plus 6 is 9 damage.
9. Okay, once again, these things are skeletal, so the edged and piercing are not quite as effective as they could be, but that is sufficient. This thing is battered down on your backstroke, and I believe that brings us to the end of that turn. Guys, 4 rounds until your allies reach you. Go ahead and declare your actions. Oh, and I think, George, you were fired for initiative. So next up is...
I'm not rolling initiative.
Colin, you're rolling initiative next round.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. So melee, nice, melee. Okay, I rolled a 3.
I rolled a 2.
Shit. All right, so they get to go first again. So we've got only 1 remaining on Malo. This thing sees its compatriot go down. It opens its mouth, trying to mouth out some kind of curse in Old Norse from its lipless. 17. That's a hit.
That's a hit.
Here we go. And damage is 6 points of damage.
All right, takes me to 0.
Okay, so this thing hits and drives Malo to the ground. The 2 that are on...
Avenge me!
Come charging forward. And see, Jason, your AC is a 4, right?
My AC is a 5 right now because I don't have
right
my
now.
shield.
Okay, so I need a 14 or higher to hit you. 1 does manage to connect. And only 1 point of damage, though.
All right.
So
that's fine.
swirling melee of steel, that is your bastard sword, 1 of them does manage to get through and connect. Okay, your turn. George.
Yes.
Maybe now's a good time to refresh our memory about
I forgot about the
astonishing fortune.
Yes, I would love to have done that.
So let's say you've done that, being the canny player that you are. So you go ahead and ignore that 1 hit, and you use up your astonishing fortune.
He was coming right at me, but I dodged at the last possible second.
Nice. He's I think he's cut like the side of your robes, and we see your face now for the first time.
Oh, now I'm really pissed.
Okay, so your guys' turn. Jason or Malo, who wants to go?
Jason, why don't you go? You got more attacks.
Yeah. So I've got first attack. I think that hits.
Definitely hits.
And going to do 11 points of damage.
Even with the reduction for edge, that is certainly enough to drop 1.
And then a second attack. That's not quite so good. I don't think that one hits. But I get a third.
You hit the same fallen thing.
I'm just too into the rage. All right.
Jason, the other one. The other one.
Let's go. Oh, yeah.
That's definitely good enough.
And 12 damage to him.
Yeah.
Nice.
So on the backswing, another one's down. Again, those of you who are running towards this thing, you hear another bestial howl from somewhere off across the tundra. Okay, so then that is it for Melee.
It's me then.
Yes.
So here's the first attack.
Nice hit.
That's a hit. Damage.
Woo, yes. It's
I feel
down.
like I'm also raging.
Okay. Now, speaking of raging,
yeah,
Jason,
I've got to roll a 1d8
Yeah.
to see if I attack you, Mallow.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Okay. 1d6 turns.
okay.
Okay.
Rounds or turns?
Rounds. I'm sorry.
Turns to be a big
Not stopping.
All right, so
Okay.
Jason, why don't you tell us and the viewers at home what is so special about berserkers in this?
So berserkers, because they are uncontrollable, have a tendency sometimes when the things are good, they'll attack the fallen bodies of the enemies. And sometimes they decide that fallen bodies aren't good enough to attack, and they move in to attack their fellow adventuring companions. And that's what's about to happen.
And who are you going to attack?
Well, everybody else is out of range.
Oh.
I attack people within about 30 yards of me.
I see.
Yeah, Mallow. I'm sorry about this. Out of character. In character, I'm just having the time of my life getting to kill more things.
Perfect.
So what we're going to do, guys, is
I'm gonna.
because you're enemies now, we're going to have each of you roll initiative. And I think rules as written, so long as George gets within, like, out of 30 yards, then Jason's not going to be able to act and attack him.
Yes.
So this may be a pretty important.
Obviously, I'm declaring a full movement here.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. Each of you guys roll a D. Ooh. Yeah. Oh man. So yeah. So why don't you guys can go ahead and describe for us what happens here.
I feel really great about this kill, and then I turn around and think, hey, Jason, oh shit. Start running as fast as I can.
I think Jason, instead of charging in, was planning on using his double attack because, a charge you only get one attack. But if he walks in, he gets two. So he's just stalking up to Mallow, and his kind of higher cognitive functions are so reduced that he can't realize that he's never going to catch him if Mallow is running faster than he is. And he's just sort of stepping up slowly. But,
Yeah. Okay. So
Nice.
you are, geez. You narrowly escape, and basically the rest of the party kind of comes into range in time to see Jason sort of still cursing in whatever language he falls into when he's raging, and panting and dripping with sweat. Is there any penalty when you come out of a rage? I can't remember.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be pretty out of it for 1d3. Let me roll 1d3 turns. So for 20 minutes, I'm going to be pretty much out of it. And I think Jason is just going to sort of fall down first to his knees and then all the way onto the ground and just kind of lie there for a few minutes. You can see his chest heaving with the energy. His sword is still bloody lying next to him. And he, maybe after 5 minutes of lying there, he's ready to sit up and look around and see the carnage that he has caused and almost caused.
Okay.
And nobody's going over to assist him. No chance.
No.
Just in case.
Mallow, you took what, 4 points of damage in total?
That's correct.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually I'm just going to mark your token because everyone is should be able to see, so you guys can.
Sorry, I could have done that myself.
Yeah, that's okay. Where everyone is. So what we'll do then is, why don't we take, we've been going for about an hour and 45 right now. Why don't we take a 5-minute bio break?
Perfect.
And we're going to refresh them, their drinks, go to the washroom, and then we will come back and see what happens next.
Great.
While I'm waiting for the players to come back, I'm going to roll random encounters for the evening. See if anything happens. Little do they know what terrors await them in the night. While we're waiting for everyone to come back as well, I'll just let the folks, if anyone has joined us late, the astonishing fortune that George used to escape his fate is an optional role that, or not optional role, it's a house role that I've introduced to give the guys a little bit of a resource to avoid some of the unforeseen negative consequences that can come from shitty dice rolls, or some of the unforgiving aspects of the OSR style games like this. It doesn't make them immune to it, but it does give them a chance to like roll a save a second time or to get an auto success on something, so long as they're role playing their characters up in an appropriately swashbuckling kind of fashion. And I'll go back to the map here as well. All right. Hey, George.
Hey, this is super fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying.
I'm really glad I wasn't responsible for the first kill of the party. Yeah, I just knew the first time I went into Berserker Rage, it was going to happen. And what do you know?
No, I see, but that's one of the things I love about these kinds of games. that there's a danger in doing anything. Like, it's a great advantage to be berserk. I mean, that was insane what you were able to do, but the fact that there's repercussions is super, super fun.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so we're just waiting on Hobbs and Will. So what we can do is we can talk about what you guys are doing back at camp at this point. Well, there's, because you will, if you take the full day, so you could spend a couple of hours to just basically get as much food off you could, which would give you 6 rations, so 6 days worth of food. Or you could spend a full day treating this thing, smoking it, and whatever else, and I believe you'll get 20 out of it.
So we have approximately 4 to 5 days total of travel remaining to get to Tuleborg, if I'm looking at the map correctly.
Yeah.
So there would be enough for 5 or 6 days with just the quick.
Yeah, and what I'm going to let you do too is I'm going to say that this first day of meat is so juicy and so succulent that you're actually able to get your water ration out of this.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so you guys you'll start your timer for water back at 0 again with this.
Perfect.
And that's
so
whether you.
I was just gonna say I'm up for whatever you guys want to do. We looks like we would have enough to reach Tuleborg most likely unless something went wrong, but there's an advantage for sure waiting a day and being thorough and getting even more than that.
Well, if we are waiting a day and we're having some people working it, could we have other people go out and try to scout for fresh water or something?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
I'm also thinking that we could maybe utilize some of the bones and that to improvise some digging tools, to get into this permafrost and perhaps get down for some water.
I think that, Jason has said that he has comes from the Northlands or whatnot. What I'll let you do is, so there's a feature for Colin, because you're not familiar with this, but one of the things that another neat thing I like about this game is there's a thing called non-standard actions, and basically it's just you roll a d6, and then we just sort of figure out what the difficulty would be for that kind of task for that particular person. And I think that this would probably be, let's see here, I'm thinking a 4 or less on a d6 is probably it's not probably the first time he's done that, but a big, shoulder bone or scapula would probably be an appropriate thing if you're spending all that time. And you guys definitely can get the fire. Now, the downside is how you're going to boil that. Does anyone have a pot or pan or anything like that?
Have I got a helmet with my armor?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
That's good.
Definitely. Okay. So then, Jason, go ahead and give me a d6 roll. Let's see if you're able to make it work.
Hey, a 4.
Nice.
Just barely.
Okay. So over the course of the day, you're able to get that, and you're able to boil down. So everybody will get another day of ration. But let's see if that water is tainted or not. Let's see here. Permafrost. This is one of the reasons why I love this. What do you call it? The Wilderness Survival Guide is there's actually a section on permafrost.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So that's not just the Canadian simulating, leaning into the stereotype.
Right.
I had a really nice copy of the Wilderness Survival Guide. I sold it to Amazon.
Oh, did you?
Foolish.
Yeah, I don't have an actual copy, but I really would like to snag one for this actual campaign.
You should be able to get that fairly easy, Kevin, because there was loads of them kicking around for a long time.
I can get it from Noble Knight for a decent price, so I'm probably going to snag it from them. Unfortunately, the Oriental Adventures is I've got a bound copy of it as well. That is, the prices on that is fucking bananas.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's got random event tables in that are my favorite of any I've come across. like for daily, monthly, yearly events. Just got some cool stuff you can use in any campaign.
Yeah, that slipped straight through my fingers as well.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. If it is tainted water,
we're on to the water, Hobbs.
Nice. Okay, so over the course of the do we have everybody? Oh, we're just waiting for Will to get back. But what you've decided is to spend the day curing and whatever that meat. Okay, and you're actually able to spend that day without encountering any adversaries. So that is a good day spent. So what? Let's see. First off, Malo.
Yes.
What is your hit dice is a D8, right?
It's a D8, and I have a +1 for my con modifier.
Yeah, so I think you get to heal that much.
Yes, that's my understanding.
Day of rest. So go ahead and make that
Here
roll.
we go.
Let's see. Let me go.
Oh, gets me up to full.
Okay. So it turns out it's more of a flesh wound for you. So that's not bad.
I'm fine.
So everyone has gained, because of the succulence of this meat, everyone satisfies their need for water for the day. And while some of you guys are curing the meat and helping Kane with that, Jason and one of the other guys helps dig up some permafrost, and using Kane's hat, you boil it down to get some water off of it. So you guys will also be able to fill up your canteen, so you'll have another day's worth of water.
Great.
I'd also like to, as a Boa and Fletcher, I recognise the value of the sinew and harvest that as well for
definitely
future arrow making.
Yeah, give me. I don't have it in front of me right now because I think it's in my room. But I'm going to use the scavenging rules from Adventure Conquer King from their Layers and Encounters book, because it's got some cool stuff in there. Okay. So I will. I'll tell you what you get from out of that once I look at that book. Cool. Okay, so you've got some other stuff. You guys have made productive use of your being left aside. So that night, let's go to the night.
Because we're grim and gritty. We're grim and gritty.
Exactly. All right. So we're joining our heroes around the campfire. Your belly's full. Oh, and Malo, we can heal you back up again.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I'll keep track of that. Sorry.
I love the low hit points of this first level. It's pretty fucking terrifying.
And you gave us max.
Yeah.
Imagine if we rolled.
Okay, now where is... Let me see here. Okay, so that night there is... someone give me a D5 roll. So you're going to set /roll 1D5. That's one fun thing with using Roll20 is you're able to make up dice. All those DCC.
D7. Yeah, exactly. Will, you want to do the honors?
I'll be more than happy to.
Ooh, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so everyone else is sound asleep, and the scene picks up with Amar sitting around the campfire. And what is Amar thinking right now? Like, what this is? I love, first off, that Amar is like a Sikh version of John Carter. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So Amar, you're like this. The last few months or years have been so strange for you, and to once again find yourself cast into yet another unfamiliar and strange setting. What is it that's dwelling on you as the campfire, kind of crackles before you, as the aurora borealis dances in the sky, a vibrant green above you?
I always wanted to see that.
Yeah, of course, that's a completely new experience. He's pondering that and meditating on the gurus, just kind of reciting some of the prayers in his mind as he just sits there and kind of observes everything around him.
Okay. For that. Oh, and for the last scene as well, guys, everybody gets a point of astonishing fortune.
Nice. Ooh, sweet.
So, Amar, you're sitting there, and then you hear from somewhere in the darkness. Your fire is really, it's a modest fire, so it really only casts about 30 yards worth of light out. You can hear a low growl from something much bigger than a man. And you see 2 pinpricks of greenish light dancing in the darkness about 60 yards away. It stands about at your height, but the spacing of it means it's much larger than a man. And you can hear the sound of its heavy footprints, or footfalls, I should say, crushing the lichen and the frost-covered lichen beneath it. Okay.
Let's see.
It's coming off from this direction here. I'm pinging.
Yep, I see it. Let's light a torch first of all.
Okay. So grab a torch, you light it up. Let me just put some light around your token here. Okay. I think torches are 30-foot radius, right?
That sounds right.
Now, let's say that it is for now. Okay. So you can go ahead and move your token if you like.
Okay. So I'm going to go. Ooh, let me move my map. There we go. So I'm going to grab maybe. Oh, I got to go back to the other select move. There we go. So I'm going to go to say, let's go about there. Because I don't want to get too far away.
Okay, so it is, it's about here. Something growls at you again and slowly stalks forward.
So who is supposed to be next up on watch?
Can you see on the edge?
Yes, I can. It looks like a bear.
It definitely looks like a bear.
You seem very calm about that, Will.
Who is rolling surprise right now? I think Hobbs was fired, so I think Arlen, you're up rolling surprise, and who's rolling initiative? I think it was George.
No, I was fired.
You failed.
Over it. Yeah.
Arlen, you were doing initiative, right?
I got failed from initiative because I lost to the skeletons.
Okay. So Colin, you were rolling surprise. Will, you were rolling initiative.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So this thing actually is surprise. So it's not going to act in the first round, and you guys are not surprised, or Amar's not surprised.
And 1d6 is initiative, correct?
That's right. Yep. I rolled a 3. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so then for the first round, this thing is not going to act. Amar, you are able to act.
Okay.
And then we'll declare.
The first thing I want to do is holler.
Okay.
Bear.
Okay, so I think what I'll do is everyone go ahead and give me a d6 roll. As long as you don't roll a 1, you're going to wake up immediately and be able to take your actions.
I'm going to use that one that I rolled there, so I'm still down.
Okay. So Jason and Kane are having their, that elk has just really tryptophan has kicked
too
in.
much.
Elk tryptophan.
Okay, so then it's need Hobbs and George to make your roll. Oh no, George, you're not. And Hobbs, you're not. Nice. Okay, so then the only people who are sleeping are still. It is going to take an action to wake up Jason and Kane. Why wouldn't you want your biggest fighters in this fight? I mean,
I know.
Exactly.
Okay, so then Amar has shouted out, this thing does not act. You can still also take a full round of actions if you want, Amar.
Right. Let's go ahead and then let's charge him with my spear.
Okay.
That seems like a good idea.
Okay. Yeah, so then you go ahead and... Okay, I know what its hit points are now. And actually, what I'll do is, you guys won't see this, but for the viewers at home, let's put a bar in there so we can see what's going on. All right. So, Amar, yeah, go ahead and make your attack.
Up here and attack. Let's see. / roll. 20. Oh, crap. That's like a 10 total, I think. Let me check my
What's your bonus to hit?
Yeah, it's just a +1, so that's a 10 total.
Oh, shoot. So you go racing forward and stab at this thing, and it connects with it because it's so big, but it doesn't give any indication that it's been affected. All right. So then let's declare actions, guys. We have rolled initiative already, so you know that you will go first. Kane and Jason, you will be kind of like getting the sleep out of the eyes of what's going on this round. So you don't need to worry about declaring your actions. But Preda, Malo, and Amar, go ahead. Nice. Okay. And Amar, what are you doing this round?
Oh, I'm still gonna jab him with the spear.
Oh yeah, so just declare your actions then.
Oh, declaring. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm right beside it. So yeah, I'm gonna
like melee and hold.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably the best.
Okay, so it's not set out in like the actual rules necessarily, but in one of the like melee modifier tables, it indicates that there is a thing like attacks of opportunity in this. So if you disengage from melee, it does get to make an attack against you for I think it's +2, but your AC goes down by 2 against their attack. So just so you're aware. Okay, cool. Then first up is melee, so then Amar, you've won initiative. Go ahead and make your melee attack.
All right, so come on, give me a good one this time.
Oh yeah, that's a hit.
Nice. So it is roll 1d8. 7 plus 2, so 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Nice. Okay, so I am actually. You hit this thing. Watch you go ahead and give us a description of what this looks like as you hit it. You're not killing it.
So, I mean, I've got the spear, and I'm just trying to jab basically up in the neck area.
Okay.
I'm trying to get somewhere up in the throat area with it.
Okay. So yeah, this thing tries to rear up, and you catch it right in the throat. It roars out in pain, and I'm actually going to make a morale check for it. No, it's still quite intense. That the smell of the meat, you think, drew this thing to you.
Oh yeah,
and it is quite intent on getting its jaws on that. All right, so it roars back, but then comes down at you. And let's see here. First, one massive claw. What's your AC?
AC of 7.
7. Okay, so let's see here. That's a 17, 7. Oh, I need a 10 or higher to hit. Oh, one burly claw bats you to the side. You take 2 points of damage.
2?
Yep.
Okay.
A second burly claw, and hopefully this doesn't hit. If it does, it can hug.
You're muted, Jace.
Oh, hits.
Probably a good thing.
Another 2 points of damage. So remember, you have your Astonishing Fortune, which you can use. And if you were to say metagame this, 2 hits on a claw means it follows up with a hug to do auto damage.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to say spend your Astonishing Fortune to have that second one be a miss, you don't take the damage and it cannot hug you.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's burn one of those.
Okay. So give us a quick, cool description of how you use your Astonishing Fortune to deke out of the way of that.
All right. So he hits him with the one claw, and as that second one comes around, using his martial training, he basically deflects it.
Okay.
And so it just kind of dodges underneath the bear.
Okay. And then it brings its massive head down. Oh, and snaps above your head, missing.
Nice.
Okay. So then it is the missile. No one's got missile. Magic for first phase. We got Malo and Preda who are doing stuff. What are you guys doing?
Preda, you want to go ahead?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So I start incanting in this very low Hellenic Atlantean tongue, which might remind you of the wizard from Conan the Barbarian, Mako.
Nice.
I'm
a wizard, mind you.
Yes, exactly. And it sounds unlike what he's ever sounded like to you before. So I'm casting a sleep spell. And rather than doing the area of effect, I am going to target a single creature of 5 hit dice or fewer. so I don't affect my companion. And then, as far as I understand the spell, I roll 2d8 to see if I get enough hit dice to take.
What's the range of the spell?
120.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good range.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's two 2d8 rolls. One is to see if I get enough hit dice, and the other to see how many turns it lasts.
Okay.
So here's the first one.
Here we go. Oh, beautiful.
No save.
No save. So what happens is this thing snaps at you, Amar. It rears back like it's going to get you again, and then it kind of and it plunks down on its butt, and then kind of like leans forward. And you're sort of confused by the tactic it's adopting.
Yes.
It then begins. It uses its next round to snore.
And I think when Mallow starts to chant, Jason, who had been kind of waking up slowly, he starts to hear the words, and you can see the lights come on in his head as he senses, and under his breath he whispers, "Sorcery."
Yeah.
And then as the bear falls back, he shouts, "Filthy sorcerers!"
Preda, what spell were you casting?
Well, and just to be fair,
I don't need to cast it now.
If it were, I thought it was a live bear when I woke up. If it was an undead bear, it is not affected.
Yeah, no, it is fortunately a live bear.
Okay, good. Perfect.
Okay, so this what is the manifestation we see when the spell takes effect as well?
So there's kind of little motes of bluish energy that come off my fingers and waft over to the target, and kind of go into its pores and make it suddenly droopy.
Nice.
And then
okay,
I go back to sleep.
So so it collapses down and it is dozing.
Yeah, let me tell you the duration is this many turns.
7 turns. Yeah, that's fine. You guys got even one to give you 10 minutes to figure out what you're doing. So there's this enormous dozing bear next to you guys right now. We can just drop into narrative time here and not worry about. I'm assuming you guys are going to figure out some clever way to fell this thing. So why don't you guys just give me a description of what happens here?
Everybody stands around it and hacks down at the time.
I was going to say, I've got my spear and I'm right there. I just stab it through the heart.
Okay. So yeah, this thing, it startles awake. Its eyes snap open, and you can see that for a split second, they actually soften. And you can see the flickering of the torch that's fallen at your feet in its eyes, and it seems to have a look of panic as then the eyes go dead and the whole mighty form sort of slumps to the ground. You pull your spear out. All right. Nice. Oh, and Amar, you took what, 3 points of damage?
No, I took 4 points of damage.
4 points. Okay, so I'm just going to adjust your token there. Boom. Okay.
The gods have seen fit to bestow another gift upon us on this day.
Yes.
This thing
more
is,
meat, boys.
Yeah. If you choose to spend another day preparing this is another 20. It's a large creature, so it's another 20 of meat.
We'll be able to establish our own faction as the Hyperborean Meatpacking Society or something.
I want to harvest one of the claws.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
We could get a bear skin thing going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big old bear skin.
That'd be great for the berserker. They love that stuff.
Let's check second day. All right. So you guys are going to spend the second day just preparing this thing?
Well, my guy would be against wasting anything, but if people need to move on.
So let's see here. So you got 20 rations from the last thing. You would spend 5 of those today to while you're preparing this thing, which would leave you a net of 35 rations. So at 10 pounds each, that's about 350 pounds of meat you guys are packing with you.
Nice.
Awesome.
Now you don't need to worry about using water, so you still have one leftover water ration. Why don't one of you guys give me 2 percentile rolls to see if you found other water? because maybe you can. Well, I mean, you've only got the one water skins anyway, which are already full of permafrost water. Anything else you guys want to do throughout the day? Okay, so no.
Can the hunter track this thing to see where it came from? Surely it has to get water, so we could have a secure location of water and maybe shelter.
The hunter could. Well, I mean, none of you guys are really. No one's a ranger or a hunter or scout or anything like that. So yes,
I'm
definitely.
a trainee. I'm a neophyte. I just hunt for fun.
Yeah, kind of wanders around until he sees something.
And kills it.
And apparently a braggart.
All right. So then that's another day down, and so you guys do have just a ton of meat. You have a full canteens. Let's see how the evening goes. The evening passes without incident. So
Nice.
another day dawns on the Borean tundra. Where are you guys going? Did I move you over, or did I just move myself over? No, I moved you over.
No.
Okay, good.
No, I see.
So where would you guys like to go?
East again.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that was kind
I
of
like
consensus before, was
Yeah.
heading east.
Yeah.
So here we go. We move east, and let's reveal what you have found. Because this is truly a momentous day. What you find is another 8 miles of tundra. Okay, so let's roll for someone. Give me a percentile roll for water. Let's see if you found fresh water on the way.
I just failed. Will somebody else, please?
Oh, you
All right,
yeah.
let me roll 100.
Nope.
67.
Still nothing. At least no potable water. Okay, however, what does happen? This is about 4 hours of travel, so this brings you to close to like noon, maybe slightly afterwards. You can't actually see it, but because of the haze, but you get a sense that the sun is making its way towards the western horizon. When I need each of you guys to give me a D6 roll, please.
Oh.
Let's see who was infected by that tainted meat. No, I'm kidding. This is what you sign up for heroics, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking skinning shit and getting sick from meat.
I've died of dysentery.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was fixing to say.
Okay, so once again, Kane, you have proven to be the keenest of your allies, and what you see out of the corner of your on the left side of sort of where you guys are traveling, it's said that nature does not make straight lines. But you can see a crest of stone that clearly has two straight lines and a right angle on it. It actually looks like some worked slab of stone set into the side of one of the sort of mounds or rises along the tundra.
I point this out to my companions. Look over yonder, markings.
So you guys all look over there, and you see exactly what he sees as well. It's probably about like 100 yards away or so. And yeah, I mean, it looks. Does anyone speak Norse, Old Norse?
Nope.
I do.
Nice. Okay.
I was a thrall for a while, so I picked
Oh,
up
right. That's right. Yeah.
at least a little bit.
You know what? This you see the slab. It looks kind of like the cairns that the chieftains and whatnot were, would be laid to rest in.
I think I'll spread that information to the party so that we can
Okay.
make a good decision.
So
Yeah,
what
so
are you
your
guys?
people come this far south, or no? Where are we?
We're still way south.
You guys have heard that the one of the things that is a bit of a mystery about Thule in general is that there does seem to be, at least what's been reported, is that there is evidence of Norse peoples living here.
Mm-hmm.
They speak with a weird accent as far as the people from Hyperborea are concerned, but they are intelligible.
Cool.
So what are you guys going to do?
Would we be aware of the tendency to bury important persons with treasure and stuff?
Absolutely. Being canny, fiscally minded adventurers, definitely that there are the tradition amongst the people who used to hold Iason as a thrall is to bury their chieftains and mighty men and women with riches so as to enjoy a bountiful afterlife.
I think the Celts probably did the same as well, didn't they, in this setting? Would that be right? Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Okay.
I'm up for investigating this.
Direction was it?
To the north.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go.
All right, let's do it.
You guys make your way over towards this thing, and as you get closer, you can see that, it's definitely faded, and it's worn with age. The edges have worn down a bit, but it definitely looks like a slab laid over some kind of, like it's on about a 45-degree angle into the side of the hill, and there are markings in Old Norse around it. And I don't know if you are literate, Jason.
I don't think I am. I was a messenger for some time, but I think I don't think anybody could read where I was from. So I think messenger means that I'm good at memorizing things, not that I can read.
Were you a messenger while you were a thrall, do you mean? Or
I think when I was a boy, before I was taken as a thrall, that was sort of my job around the camp. But I think it was all
What's your intelligence?
13.
13. Okay, let's give you a. Let me just take a look at what a 13 for a physical attribute gives you. 13 gives a 3 or less on a d6. Give me a d6 roll. Let's see if you're able to piece together what this is. No.
Ooh, no.
So there are definitely markings. You recognize the language or the alphabet is like the Futhark, but you can't make out what it says on it. What would you guys like to do? This slab does seem to be pretty fucking heavy, but we do have some fairly brawny.
Yeah.
Let's push it out of the way.
It looks like it says Rich Reaver.
Excellent.
Yeah, can they tell that I can't read it, or could I just make something up to tell them what it is?
Yeah, it's up to you.
I think I'm going to look at it for a second and sort of stroke my chin as if I'm looking at it very intensely, and then say, guys, I think this says there's treasure inside.
Oh, excellent. Glad that you're here to read these things.
Okay. Now, this slab will definitely require a feat of strength to move it.
Okay.
So who would like to make an attempt there?
Okay.
Can
we do multiple guys?
Sir, what was that, Hobbs?
Can we have multiple people try?
Yep. I'll give a plus 10% for each additional person.
Oh, so an extreme feat of strength.
Yeah. It's not a test, a feat.
Right.
Nice.
So who wants to make the roll?
I've got a 40%.
Me too.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and give a plus 10 for me for sure, if anybody else wants to help.
I think Kane's got a 18 strength as well.
Yeah, probably. And fighter to 40%.
So between the three of you guys, 60% chance. Go ahead. Who wants to make the roll?
Jason, what do you do? Go ahead and do it.
Ooh. All right, so between the three of you guys, this thing is unbelievably heavy, and it's actually a little deeper than you think it is. But between the three of you guys, you are able to get it up and cast it to the side. What comes out is a puff of, as soon as there's air is exposed, there's a puff as if this place has not been exposed to the light of day for quite some time. It is pitch black, and this seems to lead down into a hole. And you can only see down about 20 feet, but you cannot see where it ends because the sun is a little lower in the horizon. What would you guys like to do?
So just so I'm clear, so does the hole go straight down or it's at an angle?
Straight down.
Straight down, okay.
Straight down.
I've got a torch.
Yeah, we could just toss a torch down, see how deep it goes.
You light up a torch. It'll be it'll last for an hour, and you toss it down. It's actually only about 25 feet down, and as the torch goes down, you can see that there are some rough worked handholds in the side. And what it leads down to is about a 10-foot by 10-foot surface that seems to lead. There's a corridor that leads deeper in to whatever this tomb is. What would you guys like to do?
I'm happy to explore if someone could assist me with a rope. I have a rope, but if to avoid an accident, I think a rope would be advisable.
Prita will check around and make sure that the handholds aren't like have blades in them or something, and then just use those to crawl down.
What is your what's the chance of detect traps?
Good question. So I'm supposed to know that? It's not on that sheet.
What an unreasonable DM asked me to know my character.
This is ridiculous.
Oh, I have printed off copies of your character sheets, though.
Is this manipulate?
Yeah, we manipulate traps. So let me make a roll for you. So you kind of look down in there. You know, in the flickering light and the hazy light of the daytime, you're able to make out all the handholds. You can't make out any traps, any obvious sort of like levers or mechanisms or anything like that. So you don't think there's anything.
All right, she'll scamper down then.
Okay, so you go scampering on down. Who else wants to head down?
I'll go down.
Okay, so Amar is going down. Sounds like Kane is. How about Jason and Malo?
I think Jason's going to be the anchor man for the rope.
Okay.
Since we need somebody up here, and he can climb down easily enough by himself at the end.
Also, no one really wants to be in a confined space with a berserker.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me.
Okay, let me just
Yeah.
Let me set up the map here, guys. Just give me a sec. And it was, let's see here. So your torch is out now, Amar. And who was it? Who was it who dropped the torch down?
That was me, Mallow.
Oh, Mallow. Okay, so Mallow, I'll give you a torch here. Give you some light that everyone sees. Let me grab all the guys here. Oops. Wrong thing. Oop, I brought your campfire with you. Good. Carry on with us.
Down here.
Okay, so it is a little cramped for where you guys are, but let me just transfer you over here. This is what you see. As you reach the bottom, there is a worked tomb or worked walls inside here that are fairly crude. And the walls are sturdy, made up with mortar as if to keep the other earth back. But this curved wall in front of you, that's actually worked of a different stone. That's like a wall that has been built. And there are more runic markings on this as well, which, Jason, you can feel free to pretend to know them, but you cannot make sense of them.
I have got a blank black screen right now.
Oh, does everyone have...
Try zooming all the way out.
Yeah, I zoomed all the way out. I am pitch black.
Oh, you know what, Jason, because you're actually... Hold on, your character's actually not there. Let me just...
Yeah.
Let me bring your token over. You're not down there, but this will let you actually see it. We won't make you role play out. What do you see, guys? Okay. Boom.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. So Jason's not down there, at least not yet. But that's what you guys see. What would you guys like to do?
Prado will approach this wall and see if she can find some way to get past it because it's newer, right? So,
so you get over and test it. Like the way that the walls on the side are built is heavy mortar and big stones and set against what for how deep you guys are now and having dug down into the permafrost before, this is likely set in the permafrost. So those are very, very solid on the side. This wall in front of you, you think a good effort or a good push may be able to knock this down.
I have a way through, Praetor.
By all means, step out of the way. 3 long, smart steps backwards.
Okay.
I shall advance to the wall and with a mighty swing, boom, test the strength of this wall against my hammer.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a test of strength, please. I think you got like 5 or less to get it on a D6. So if you click on your character sheet. Boom. Okay, yeah. So a couple things you see. Let me just adjust something here.
I quite like this hammer. It's pretty cool.
So I'm going to guess that made some noise, and Jason standing still up at the top is going to turn his back to the tomb and just, keep on watch, make sure that nothing's coming out of the wilderness to get us.
Excellent plan. I get the sense that you've watched my streams before.
I have. I know a little bit about how random encounters
bullshit that I pull. Okay. So as that thing collapses down, this is what obviously the whole wall's not down, but this is what you guys can see. And one thing that so you can see that there is a Norse style looks like wooden sarcophagus set in there with a bunch of intricate designs on the side. If you picture any kind of Norse carvings, this thing seems to be, it depicts from where you can see that there's, Vikings and some kind of large serpent or dragon of some kind. But lying at the feet of this thing are, as any, hopeful chieftain would want, or any wealthy chieftain, they have their loyal hounds. And this unnamed Viking has had his hounds follow him through into the afterlife. Would you guys kindly give me a surprise check, please?
Got it.
These things are ever vigilant and not surprised. Who's rolling surprise? I think
just like us.
I'm unsurprising, I think.
Yeah, so and we go. Not surprised. Nice. Then initiative, guys. First off, declare actions. I did catch myself that time. So go ahead and write down what you guys, those who are down there. Each of these squares is 5 feet, guys. You don't need to worry about keeping yourself rough, directly on the squares necessarily, but just to give you a sense of how big this thing is. Oop, I'm going to refresh the stream, maybe hang in here. Let's see. Is anyone else watching the stream live?
On and off.
I've got both of them on.
Okay, is the stream actually still going, or?
Yeah, I can see your cursor moving around.
Oh yeah, okay, great. So mine was hanging out. I wasn't sure if it was my internet connection on my laptop or whether it was the actual thing. Okay, great. So Malo, King, great. Everyone, Jason on watch. Okay. These things are currently prone, so they will have to spend a move to get up. Should give you a sense of how much time you got. All right. Then, Will, you are in charge of initiative, or is that what your 3 was?
That's what my 3 was. I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's see what I get here. Oh, I rolled a 6. Which really shouldn't make a big difference. All it means is, so first round, melee. Anyone have a melee action?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead. Oh, you're right at the front there, so you're going to go in.
Yeah. Boom!
Okay, so you go racing forward and brain one of these things. I'm picturing kind of like a skeletal version of like big Irish wolfhounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, you nail this thing. Go ahead and roll damage.
It's 10.
6, 10. Oh yeah. So, and you're using a bludgeoning weapon, so it's full damage. So that thing is annihilated.
Oh no, it isn't. Oh no, I've got more. So I think I've been doing this wrong. For Great Hammer, it's 2d6 plus 4.
Yep.
Plus, I've also got plus 3 on damage, so I've actually got plus 7, haven't I?
No, I think that's. You mean the plus 3 on damage from? Oh, sorry. So the plus 4 is your bonus to hit.
Yeah, but under strength, yeah, it's plus 2 to hit, plus 3 to damage.
Yep.
And then when I look at Great Hammer, halfway down the sheet, it's 2d6 plus 4.
Oh yeah, that's already included your strength.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that includes everything for you.
All right, nice.
Okay, so you brain this thing, and this is a lesser foe, which means you can carry on if you like.
Yep. So roll again, yeah?
Yep. Oh, that is not good enough. You sort of clark the side of this and ding the side of this sarcophagus.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Anyone else got a melee? No. So then it goes to missile. Nobody.
I'm missiling.
What's that?
I was going to missile. I put missile.
You put missile? Where'd you? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Hobbs, go ahead.
So sling stone.
Okay. 13. That actually does hit.
Yay.
Nice. 4 points of damage. Okay, so this, you hit this thing, and you basically smash like most of its skull away with that hit. It's not quite enough to drop it. That's it from missile. Then magic. Nobody. Move. Go ahead, guys. This thing stands up. Anyone want to move half your move? You go ahead. Okay.
I'll move a little bit out of the way, perhaps.
Okay. Well, you're engaged with this thing. If you move out of the way, then and actually, you've already used your move during your melee phase.
Oh, okay. Phase 1 still.
Yeah.
Oh, phase 1 still. Cool.
Yeah. Marg was racing in. Okay. And Preda, you're staying there. All right. So then it is second round melee. These things won initiative, so this thing does get to take a snap at Kane. And Kane, let's see here. Your AC is what?
AC 6. Scale
6.
up.
Yeah, 13 to hit you. I rolled a 3. So this thing snaps at you, and it's because its brain or its skull has been mostly shattered. Its jaws kind of hanging loose and snaps at you, kind of clumsy Muppet style, and does not connect.
It's gonna hang real loose in a second.
Anyone meleeing in second phase?
Yes.
My question, Kev, actually also is when I'm doing a move, half, an attack for phase 2, do I get to do the move as part of the attack, like in melee, or okay?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can move after your melee as well too. So
okay,
you can.
I didn't know if I do that in the phase of movement.
No,
I mean in this. Okay, great, perfect. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'll be next.
Okay, so go ahead.
Is Amar meleeing?
What's that?
Is Amar meleeing?
Yes,
Do you want to do the honors?
I can. Let's.
You guys go ahead and both make attacks.
Okay.
One thing, Amar, you would have had. Amar, you can roll a. What's your hit dice? A 1d8 or is it 1d6?
1d8 for the moment.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. Do you have a con modifier?
Yeah, I got a +1.
So go ahead and roll 1d8 plus 1 because you would have healed that last night.
Ah. Look, I know what I messed up on. Roll.
I thought it was the last watch when he got wounded.
Same team, Hobbs. Same team.
Five.
Okay, so you're back up to full.
Yeah, I haven't scrolled far enough down. There we go.
All right, so you were back up to full. All right, so let's see here. That means both Malo and Amar hit. Wait, let me think here. Amar. Oh no, Amar, you actually. Do you have a bonus to hit in melee?
Melee is. Oh yeah, that's with my. I forgot.
Strength.
That's with my punching.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get a +2.
+2, great. So then, yes, both of you guys hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right. That is 1d4. It's 2.
Okay. So between the two of you guys, yeah, you drop this Thane's hounds. And the tomb once again lies silent. Jason, from the top, you can hear sort of like the sound of battle and then silence.
Wish I was there fighting too.
My guess is we might find more undead here.
Yeah,
we may need help.
Okay. What do you guys want to do next? The sarcophagus lies before you, and it appears that this tomb extends deeper into the earth.
I feel like we should investigate this sarcophagus first in case we go forward and something undead comes out of it.
Yeah, Prada, do you want to get in here and have a poke around?
I don't know you that well, Amar, but I will check out.
Hey. No time like the present.
In fact, there is many other times.
All right, Prada. So go ahead and move yourself where you want to inspect from.
I'm going to go around the whole thing. We can take some time. We're out of the wind finally, so we might as well.
Oof. So you're moving around the entire thing. So you're walking on every square. I just want to make sure that's what you're committing to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. So you make your way along. The rest of you stand back and watch as Prada, heedless of any danger, goes around this thing, carefully inspecting it.
Isn't that part of the traps? Is the floor? No.
Prada
is fooling with you, Jason.
After you inspect the take a careful look at the entire area, you are fairly confident. At least Raven tells you that this is safe.
Good. Maybe we should call in Jason.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm just, metagaming it a little bit. If something comes up and attacks us and we've got to climb up to the top of this lip, that might be more than we could handle. So do you guys think it's worth it to have me down there to add another sword fighting against whatever is going to come out of the sarcophagus, or have essentially the beachhead if something comes up on us from the outside?
I think I'm more concerned right now about what's inside.
All right.
I don't know.
I will walk inside.
You're up there on your own. You could get shanked.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, no. Things don't shank me. I shank them. But yes, I'll walk down in here and come stand next to Kane and Prada and be,
okay.
On
so you've seen what what I've described from before. On the inside of this room as well, looks like there are very faded and kind of like stained wooden planks that depict a bunch of other sort of the history of this person. They've been underground, so they're actually fairly well preserved. But the sudden exposure to the elements likely suggests that they will corrode quite quickly. But there's again a lot of depictions of the stylized Vikings facing off against serpents, and serpents that seem about the size of these of the Vikings facing them. In fact, some of them seem to have weapons in their hands themselves.
What do you mean? The serpents?
The serpents that are facing the Vikings, yeah.
Do they have the serpents not only have weapons, but have hands?
Yeah.
And this is not something we're familiar with. This is not these ain't the things that come and take your kids away in the night or anything like that.
Let's see here. Malo, why don't you give me a D6 roll, please? Yeah. And Amar, you can give me a check as well.
Okay, I was gonna.
Yeah. Prada, you can give me a D6 roll as well. Okay. Definitely not Prada. Prada's like the gods. No. So Amar, what you know is the legends of your land speak of a kind of capricious creature known as the Naga. And while the Naga doesn't traditionally have hands. You can see elements of that in these designs. It's obviously as if it's like spoken through a different culture's interpretation. But it does worry you that this, and you've seen, I think in the course of your travels since arriving in Hyperborea, you have heard tell of a forgotten creature or forgotten people that once, were rulers of Hyperborea that you would interpret as the Naga as well. So the sarcophagus lies before you guys. What do you want to do?
Do I see a way to open it?
If you lift and then move the lid, yeah.
All right.
I'm happy to help you.
To the others.
Or would you like others to do that?
For sure.
Okay.
It's made out of wood, so I'm assuming it's not that heavy. But
yeah, did somebody want to get the other side, or?
Yeah, I'll move in, help you out, and then maybe Kane can stand with his warhammer ready to, smack anything that might come out.
Okay. So you, between the two of you, you're able to lift the lid, and it actually goes fairly deep into it. Like there's an underside that, like a lip that goes into the thing, but you're able to lift it up without much difficulty, and then drop it to the floor. And you walk over with the torch. Sorry, remind me again. Oh, is Malo who had the torch? So torch, Malo, you pick up the torch from the ground, you bring it over, and what you guys see inside is some fallen, decayed skeleton, or the remains of what was likely once some mighty Viking warrior. The armor has corroded to near uselessness. The helm likewise has corroded. There's no straps or anything that have survived the passage of time, but flecks of beard still sit around the skeleton, and there are little bits of the armor that still catch the flickering light of the torches. And Preda, that's when you feel a knot in your stomach. Raven says, something is wrong. And that's when those of you standing over the body see small little flecks of blue light appear within the empty skull. And suddenly a blue flame seems to engulf this thing. And what you see is... where did I put it? Is the DM stalling for time. As he puts together the handout that he was supposed to do yesterday. Fucking Bush League DM, jeez. All right, here we go. This thing springs to life, and this is what lies in that tomb.
Oh.
Ooh,
this looks fine, guys.
Would you all kindly first roll for surprise?
I'm still on surprise.
Yeah, that's you.
Okay.
No surprise. And Will, you are in charge of initiatizing here. I got a 2. Oh, you got a 1. No. All right, guys, would you kindly declare actions as I bring this token over?
I'd like to make a motion, a vote of no confidence in the initiative roller.
Yes. Pass
so that
it on.
moves then. Hobbs, you're in charge of initiative now.
All right.
Once again, I'd like to make a vote for no confidence.
Yes.
Okay, so we got Malo, Jason, Preda. I need, let's see here, Amar and... Oh yeah, Amar and Kane. But I will go with this thing. This thing is going to melee. Once I find its stats here. Okay, you hear a clatter as something metallic falls to the ground or falls to the inside of the sarcophagus as this thing sits up and one of its spectral hands will reach out. Ooh, I got 3 potential targets there. Oh my gosh. Decisions, guys. So let's see here. Who? I'm going to go top is 1, then 2, then 3, and then back around again. So
cool.
It is going for, Jason.
All right.
Once again, the Vikings try and claim you. Your AC is a 4 right now?
Ooh. My AC is a 4 right now. I've got my shield out, bastard sword, one hand.
Okay, then this thing reaches towards you. That blue flame wreathed claw. You said it was a 4?
It is a 4.
It was a 4, which means that I missed. So it reaches towards you, and the last second, you can feel the, it's as if like you had placed your bare chest on snow. You can feel the burning cold as it gets close, and you pull back just in time. That was its melee. Who wants to go on the melee phase 1?
I do.
Okay.
This world is not for you. Oh, nat 1.
Nat 1. Oh, no.
I fall into the sarcophagus with
Yes. You know what I'm going to let it do? I'm going to let it make an attack on you because you've moved in so close.
That's fair.
This thing turns towards
very
you.
Overconfident.
And I think it does hit. Oh, shit. So I need you to make a save versus death.
All right.
You take 5 damage.
Saves do work from our sheet.
The saves do work, yeah. And I think you've got +2 versus death.
I do. I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No, I have Transformer and Sorcery.
Whoa! 16! So this again, so you do take the 5 points of damage. Your DR will apply against that.
Yes.
But you're able to pull back. You can feel a chill blow through your entire body, as if you were naked and exposed to the full force of an Arctic gale. But fortunately, it does not take a piece of your soul with you as you pull back.
Guys, don't get too close.
Who else would like to like a melee?
Oh, you tell me what?
Yes.
Boom.
18 is a
Nice.
hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
10.
10 points of damage. So you hammer your massive hammer slams down onto this thing, and it seems to shatter part of its form, but it is still a malevolent threat. Who wants to go next?
All right, I'll smack him.
16 does hit.
Nice.
11 points of damage.
Nice. Bam! This thing's almost completely dissipated. Anyone else have a melee on first round?
I think it's just missile and magic now.
Okay. And Miss Amar, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm firing my crossbow.
Definitely.
Roll d20. And that's a 17 total.
17 total hits, yeah.
And that is 1d6. And 2 points of damage.
2 points of damage. Okay. So it tears part of its, like there's sort of like a wisp of bluish flame that goes through as your bolt passes through its form. We are then on magic. Prada, what are you doing?
It's still alive or it's gone? It is.
Well,
gone.
it's still undead.
But
still active. I'm going to blight it with the power of
Okay.
Raven.
nice.
Nice. So you call out for the help of Raven, and this thing is bewitched. Does it have magic resistance? It does not.
It doesn't. Because you were asking me, right?
Oh, I'm okay, so that is the end of the first phase. Second phase, it is going to move by standing up in the crypt. It sort of more like drifts up to the to a standing position. Kane. Oh, actually, you've only got one attack on this first round, so Kane can't attack melee twice. That'll be second round, and then that is the end of the first round. Hobbs, you are rolling initiative. I got a 2. Oh no!
I told you, I warned you all.
Yeah. You warned us.
Heed me.
Okay.
Jesus.
Then, all right, go ahead and declare. I guess you should have declared your actions, guys. But I think I know what everyone's doing here.
Yeah.
And this.
I fill my drawers.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to roll again randomly and see who it's going to attack. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Kane.
I see. I knew.
I blame Prada. Okay, so it lurks as it stands up. It lashes out at you, Kane. Your AC is what, a 6?
A 6, yes.
6, okay. Colin, did you have an idea for a backup character?
Yes.
Well, you know what? You don't need it because I missed.
Nice.
So it reaches out, but you seem to learn the lesson from seeing what happened to your 2 allies. You deke back as this thing claws out at you. Your turn, guys. What are you doing?
Oh, Kevin, you're such a jokester.
I think Jason and I are.
Yeah, I think we're just
Taking-
smacking it. See
Yeah.
if we can finish him.
Lay in on this thing. Anyone who's melee attacking in first phase, go ahead and make your attack roll. Malo hits. Jason, you miss.
Miss
Hit.
with 1, but I hit with the second.
Yep.
And yeah, let me see my. I missed with the second. So
Okay, miss a second. So you got 1 hit each.
Yeah.
And then
7 damage.
okay, so definitely. So between the lot of you guys, you're able to shatter this thing's form, and it collapses back down, just being a heap of corroded and ruined armor. But what you do see is once you pick up your, I guess you still had your torch in your hand, right, Malo?
No, I had to drop it because I was just fighting two-handed.
Okay. So once you stop, now it's just the torch that's lying at your feet that's illuminating this place. You're all breathing heavily. Malo, you still can't seem to get warm. You've got a chill that's likely to last for a day or so.
Yeah.
But when you grab your torch and bring it up, you're able to see better down into the sarcophagus, and there is something that is reflecting the light quite brilliantly in there.
Yeah, that's the thing he dropped.
So
Yeah. What do you
I
make
think-
of that?
if it's however much of it's still around, Jason is gonna take his bastard sword and use the pommel to try to smash the skull or the helmet or whatever is left of this thing, just to get some vengeance for what he suffered on the Vikings.
Definitely. Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome. So you smash away at this thing, and I'll give you another point of astonishing fortune for that. That's cool.
Oh boy.
So you smash away at this thing. There's nothing but rubble, like ruined bones left. So Kane and Malo, you're about to look in there, and then Jason just goes ape shit with destroying this shit. Like, all right.
Oh,
Once it settles down, or once he settles down and stands back again, panting, is drenched in sweat. You take a look down inside the sarcophagus, and the thing that is reflecting your light is a brilliant edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring this thing out, and it looks as if it was freshly forged by its maker. It is a scimitar, or at least you would think it is, but the handle itself has stylized serpents swirling around on the hilt.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely has a kind of an unnatural, I think, Amar, you might recognize it as having a kind of a like Mideast flourish to it, but distinctly leaning into the snake motif. There's even a bit of a tongue that on the, what is it, the edge of the raised edge in the middle has like a serpent's tongue kind of running down it. It is gorgeous.
I will start mumbling in an arcane tongue and cast detect magic.
Okay, so you once again, that blue light kind of drifts over it, and yes, this is a blade with a powerful enchantment in it, because this is a +2 scimitar.
Cool.
So I'm going to relay what I've discovered to the party.
Okay. What do you guys do? Now we're pretty much at the end time here. So what I'm going to assume is that you're going to search the rest of the tomb.
Yes.
Yeah.
So because you do that, then you die. So I hope you guys enjoyed the campaign.
I meant no.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, so what you guys do find is, where is it here? Where is my list of stuff? Here we go. So what you find in the rooms back here, guys, I'll just move you guys back here so you can see. Boop, 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 boop. Oops, what am I on? Am I on the wrong layer? I'm on the wrong layer. One second. Move you guys together. So moving yourself back over here. Let me get rid of your ally, the undead dude.
Good riddance.
More room back there. Let me get to the where is it here? Dynamic lighting layer. I'll just get rid of the other two walls. There were two chests that were laid in here. Apparently where his riches were to be found. And what you found was a gorgeous circlet of silver that has two brilliant emeralds set into it. And amongst three black pearls, as well as a small fortune of 500 GP.
Woo! Nice.
I've never seen such riches.
You guys are truly spoiled with riches at this point. So the total value of this stuff, anyone have any kind of mercantile secondary skill or anything like that?
No.
No? So then this is, your characters don't necessarily know this, but the circlet itself is a little aged, but I mean, a valuable treasure is a valuable treasure worth 50 gold pieces. Those black pearls would each net you 250 GP.
Was there 3 of them?
There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then the 2 emeralds
that
lay set in the circlet. Each of those is worth 1,500 GP.
Whoa.
Woo!
All right, who just leveled up?
So, what you guys had, let's see here, there was the gold that you're going to gain from this stuff, or the XP gain from that is, let's see here, 3,000 plus 750 for the black pearls, plus 50 for the circlet, plus 500 from the GP. Who has Astonishing Fortune left over?
I have 1.
I do.
I have 3.
You have 3.
That's 1.
I got 5 GP.
Oh, no, sorry, not Astonishing Fortune.
Oh, Astonishing 2.
Okay, so we got, I just hold up your fingers, guys. I guess, Arlen, you said you've got 4?
I've got 3.
You got 3, okay.
I'll type it.
3, okay, 1, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hobbs, you have 1 left or 2?
I ever got 1. Oh, I have 2 left. 2
left. Okay, so that was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 9 left over, which means, guys, each of those converts into 50 XP.
Oh.
So you got another 450 XP from that. The undead creatures that you have faced, let's see here, it was I got them right in front of me, actually.
Do we need a drum roll?
Always.
The bear was 105. How many hexes did you uncover?
Oh, quite a few.
Let me go over to the
3
map
or
here.
4, I think.
1.
5.
5.
Yeah, I think 5's right.
Yeah, okay. So that's another 250 XP. Oopsies, wrong thing. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nicely done. They're 250. And then that's worth 105. It was 5 skellies, right?
The ones that Mallow and I faced? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is...
I never do the experience at the end of my adventures, but I think I might have to. It's quite exciting.
It's nice having the immediate reward.
Yeah.
I like the drama. I like the drama of it.
And let's see here. There's that. And then you faced 2 undead hounds in the basement. Plus, what was it, 4?
5 of those.
5. Yeah.
And 5 of those as well. Look at this DM trying to cheat you out of XP. What the
I know, right?
100.
is what a bunch of bullshit. Okay. See, so that was 5 of those. And then the Fallen Thane. I wonder how much he was worth. He seemed pretty easy, though. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's true. He just tried to kill me.
He's can't be worth
Take
it.
my soul.
Yeah, he didn't even kill a party member. He
It's like
can't be
25
that
XP.
Yeah. Well, I love using level drain at this level.
Yeah, that was awesome.
What's the
Dave
sound
versus
like?
Jeez.
The last bit of a milkshake.
Exactly.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, then, folks, your total XP for tonight, or tonight from today, or tonight as we're calling it.
Yes, well, yeah.
Is it tonight for you, Colin, yet?
Yeah, it's 7 minutes past 6.
Aha, okay.
So just getting round to tea time.
Yeah.
You're golfing today?
No, the boy was out golfing.
Nice.
So it's always tea time for him.
All right, guys.
You thought that had gone over my head, didn't you, Jason? See, I recovered well from that.
That's
Right.
We got to
Okay,
use
so-
two boots in a trunk when we do that podcast.
So the total XP that each of you have gained today is 1,146.
awesome.
However, because you are first level, that means you gain double XP for today's session, which means 2,292 XP.
So close.
And we get a bonus on top of that if we have our stats, right? The 10%
Absolutely.
extra.
Prime
All
requisite.
right.
Did anybody ding-a-ling?
Yeah.
Let me do the math. 2292.
Just barely.
Yeah.
Level 2.
Level 2, okay.
Same here.
What a pushover.
I'm not sure I've got
sorry.
the
No, I
the
did. I
necessary
did.
info.
I did. That's right. Colin,
I'm close.
as a fighter, you hit level 2 at 2,000 XP.
Yeah, baby. So,
Yeah.
and is it 10% on? So with strength 18, I guess.
Yep,
Getting an
10% on top of that.
So
Oh,
with 10% on that, times 1.1.
2521.2.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it on that.
Okay, outstanding. So, guys, we are in the wild. You are replete with food. You're once again out of water, but full of riches. What
Yes.
will come of our heroes? We'll have to find in 2 weeks' time. So,
Awesome.
for those listening at home, thanks so much for joining us for this first session of the Reavers of Thule campaign for Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. I'm just going to hop out of the sharing screens here. Oops, stop. Back to the thing and do the outro. So, exit game. And let me turn my camera back on. Boom. So, for those listening at home, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, or you can reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings, or you can email me at dungeonmusings@gmail.com. You may also note that there is a link in the description of the video to the Heroes Save Villages campaign. That's the charity fundraising campaign that we're running on the channel. This is something where we have paired up with SOS Children's Villages International, which is a really terrific charity that benefits children living in very high need circumstances. So if you have enjoyed the session, I'd ask that you just consider clicking through to the description or to the campaign where you can learn about SOS Children's Villages International and about some of the rewards that we have in the available for the campaign. And last but not least, I want to thank my players. So guys, thanks so much for joining us today. This was a ton of fun getting this off. I unfortunately didn't kill anyone yet.
Close.
Not for lack of trying. So Arlen, Colin, George, Hobbs, and Will, thank you so much for playing today, guys.
Thanks, Kev. Thanks, guys. You guys are it was super fun.
Yep, enjoyed it.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Then for those listening at home, we will see you again back in Hyperborea in 2 weeks' time. Until that time, thank you very much for watching and happy gaming. See ya.